Hi. Hello. Shroomates, it never ends. Ah, it never ends. Hi, I'm Squeegee. I'm a freelance artist fungi, and I'm also an art educator. And currently my ceiling is all ripped out. Thankfully it's not exposed to the open air because I'm in an apartment complex, but God, when does it end? Please, I'm begging you, give me a break. Please, what have I done? Why does it never end? Hi. In case if you're wondering what I'm complaining about, uh, we're late. You might notice we're late. We're late by a whole hour. Uh, Yesterday morning, I stepped out into my living room, ready for Jubby and I to make our customary fried eggs on toast that we love to enjoy every morning. Jubby is starting their day by shaving. I am stepping out, big stepping as a small shroom does, stepping it out into the living room.
Oh,
And I hear in the distance this just like blip, blop, blip, blop, blip, blip, blop, blip, blip, blip noise. And I was like, what? What is that? What's that noise? What is that? Pardon me, what is that? Why does it sound like the dishwasher's draining? If I ran the dishwasher last night, it should be already like way drained. The dishwasher only takes like 3 hours to run. What is that? I come around the corner into my kitchen and there is water pouring out of my cabinets. Which is truly a peculiar sight to see. It's like my cabinets are like crying. I was like, Joby! Joby! I was like, oh crap, it's like all over the floor, my carpet is soaked, there's puddles on everything, it's all in my microwave, it's all over my stove, it's all in all of our boxed food, because the one cabinet it was mostly coming out of is like our pantry cabinet. So like, my boxes of cereal and my box of minute rice and my many of things, pretty much everything that was in that cabinet. Like, it got inside bags because there was so much of it. So, like, all my dried good foods are all gorked. No, there were no fish crackers up there, at least. And a lot of things, thankfully, are in bags. But the problem was that because it was, like, coming down and soaking in, the water still got into the closed bags. So I was like, alright, goodbye pretzels, goodbye stovetop stuffing that somehow got leaked into, goodbye mac and cheese that got wrecked, because mac and cheese for some reason doesn't go in a box, goodbye pasta, goodbye rice, whole ton of, yeah, dried goods. Now they're hydrated goods, and they're hydrated with horrible brown water that was leaking out of my ceiling. I think the point of least resistance was just like the front edge of my cabinets, where like the paint wasn't sealed properly. It was brown, not in the way that it's not like, it wasn't like bad, evil, dirty water in the sense of it wasn't sewage. It was just like water that was going through all of the like wood and like crawl space above me. So like not water that is like super duper uber disease water or anything at least, but still like reasonably gross, icky water. Bad. So I was like, ran downstairs, shut the water line off to try and stop what is occurring, threw a bunch of bowls on the counter, dragged my microwave out of there, Jubby helped me, rolled up our carpet and moved it out, ripped everything out of all of our cabinets that could be in any way perishable to try and save it, before the water reached it, because some of the cabinets were not all wet yet. Yet being keyword, they did in fact get all wet because it did spread consistently because issues started at like 9 a.m. I guess it probably actually started during the night. But I contacted my landlord and no one came to deal with the issue until 5 p.m. They were originally gonna come the next day, and then I was like, no, no, you're gonna come today. And they did. They at least made it stop temporarily yesterday so that our belongings didn't continue to get destroyed. And then today they came and like did all like the actual fixes. No, yeah, no. So not great. So we're waiting to see insurance claim. This is why renter's insurance is good. We'll see what I manage to claim on renter's insurance, because, like, my microwave is all goofed. My hot water kettle is goofed, so I'm just drinking plain water right now, because my electric kettle. Our coffee maker's all full of water. Like, all of our counter appliances got wrecked, more or less, unfortunately. So, fingers crossed that renter's insurance is nice to me. Gary, I can't hear. They can't hear you. Nice try, Gary. I'm listening to him, but you guys can't hear him. I think I finally figured out what it is, what the issue is. It's that I think VTS Pog needs to launch after OBS launches, and even though I have it set, I have like a button I hit on my Stream Deck that launches all of the programs I need for stream. And it's supposed to launch this after OBS, but I think it's not successfully doing that. I think it's somehow launching it before still, but here, try again, Gary. You should be able to speak this time. Try again.
So, parent,
Yeah.
I know this is maybe a little late, but
That's okay.
while I was eating some tasty concrete as a midnight snack yesterday, I accidentally chewed through a bit of metal that was all wet.
Gary!
Anyway, what's this about your pipes leaking?
Gary, you caused us a couple $100 worth of damage. How could you? Gary, you're my son and I forgive you, and I know you didn't do it on purpose and you meant better, but why? 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 Also, Gary, you do sound a little bit different. Why do you sound a little different? Are you supposed to sound like that? You sound a little different to me. Hope landlord paid it. No, the landlord doesn't have to replace our belongings if they're damaged. They just have to fix the problem. So landlord did in fact fix the problem. There's no longer leaking water, but they are not under any legal qualifications or requirements. Yeah, I don't know why he's a British woman now. I don't know what happened. He's English. He should be Australian. Gary, what? Gary?
Hello, parent.
You know, I guess you just sound like that now. He wants me to flip back over. Yeah, I don't know. He does just sound British, even though I can clearly see he is selected to be Australian. He's just not paying attention. He does want to be flipped back over, I guess. Wait, what? One evening, about a month after I moved into my apartment, someone rang my front doorbell. Didn't expect anyone and was scared about opening the door, so I took a knife I used for salad and went with it behind my back. It was a plumber. I had to check if I had any leaks since he'd called about from the lower floors. Turns my water meter leaked. Thankfully, nothing's actually flooded. I got changed by house management. Okay, there you go. Blood's rushing to his brain, EG. Yeah, I guess. He's coming back home. Gary's British? I don't know if home is the UK. Home is the US of A for him. So he's still not made it home. He's a little closer. I would actually say significantly closer. But, like, actually, why did he travel the long way? I think Australia is closer to east coast of US if you go across California, right? Question mark? Maybe? I don't know. Managed to leave the prison colony and get back to the UK. Oh, I guess. He left the prison colony and went back to the place that colonized the place to be a prison. Gary, come home! How does that song go? I actually am doing the dummy dummy, which is not Gary come home. Gary come home a la SpongeBob. How does that go? How does that go? Yeah. I don't remember how that one goes. Jovi and I just like watched it like last week too, and now I can't remember. But yeah, he's a UK king after all. Oh, I forgot you guys were calling him the king of the United Kingdom at one point too. I think he's just having an identity crisis, as many a teenager is wont to do. They often have those, I've found out. Want to see the Tower of London, all the old castles in the UK. I can't blame him for wanting to tour the world. I appreciate his attempts at being rather worldly. He's expanding his horizons. He's actually gotten to travel more places than I have, if that's the case. I have been to one country outside of the US of A, and it's the UK. I've never been anywhere else. I've not even been to Canada, despite pretty much living on the Canadian border for a couple years. Never made it into Canada. And I don't know why I didn't go. I have a passport. I could have gone. I don't know. Isn't he just Terrible Twos now? He's 1 year old. He's a single year old. Terrible Twos will be next year. I don't think Terrible Twos qualifies until he hits the number 2. Gary's only 1, which is still crazy to think that we've had him on stream for a whole year at this point. When Gary takes over the UK, he'll free Scotland and then turn Big Ben into a concrete factory. He's just terrible 1. Yeah, 1 is less terrible than 2, I guess, which is similarly less terrible than 3. I guess he's just gonna get worse with age, huh? He's gonna get more and more terrible. Isn't there a king who's called something the Terrible, like Ivan the Terrible or something? That's him. That's what king he is. He's Gary the Terrible. Gary the Terry. Did you texture Gary? His moderate looks really good. Thanks, I did texture him. I created him myself with my own fingers. Is your stream anniversary today? No. Gary's anniversary, I think, was technically last week. I think Gary debuted my birthday week last year, I believe. I believe he debuted, like, the Tuesday of last year's birthday week, which may just be, like, February 4th or something, if I understand how time works. But it's his anniversary, not mine. My anniversary for streaming ends up being in June? My partner anniversary is in October. And I believe my anniversary of existing is March. Which I currently have nothing planned for because I planned too much for my birthday. So we'll see about doing something at that point for it. My stream, or my Squiiji existing anniversary is the week of the 20th of March, I believe? How many years have I existed? 3, right? Maybe it'll be the start of the 4th year, I think? Right? Maybe this is my 2nd year streaming, and I existed for, I think, a full year before I was a streamer, right? Question mark? I can't remember. We'll figure it out. Crazy? Yeah, I know. I've been around. I've been hanging out. I've been around for a while. If you're up for a big project, could you make another V-Roid Studio build for YouTube? If I were to do more V-Roid Studio, it'd probably be continuing the one I had already started. But I have too many big projects. I need to finish the current big projects. Happy belated birthday to you and Gary. My birthday was on the 3rd, so babies unite. Thank you. Yeah, my birthday was the 5th. We celebrated last week. Happy birthday to you also. Ivan the Fearsome. Oh, I see. I can't remember who that fellow was. But yeah, so that was my exciting weekend. I had a really exciting weekend. By exciting, I mean I spent every 30 minutes going and dumping water out of bowls on my kitchen counter, and now we're waiting to dishwasher all of them because I would like them to be high heat treated because I don't know what came out of my ceiling, and my ceiling looks terrible. My ceiling, all this paint is like separated and peeled away. There was all this water in the light fixture, and the light fixture's all goofed up. It's gonna take some work, so my landlord's probably gonna be here all a week doing some fixtures for us once things dry out. Yeah, so I'm not excited about that. I was saying to Billy, I was like, when do I get a break? When do I get a rest? When does it end? I think this is just what being an adult is just something goes wrong almost every single day, and you just have to try to not let the stress kill you. I will stay silly. I will not give up because we adapt, we improvise, we overcome. We live in the wise words of Bear Grylls, despite the fact that that man was kind of a fake and a fraud, but not entirely. It was TV. We expected him to not be totally realistic. But anyways, yeah, apartment life is hard, and let me just say, it would have been way worse if I owned this house and I had to be the one paying for the repairs, because that probably would have been way more expensive. So I can at least, like, make a claim for my renter's insurance and get some of the money back of things we lost. But, like, if I was having to do all this repairing, that would cost an arm and a leg for us, so that would be even more financial ruin. So we'll take that at least. Renting's not great, and renting is also expensive. And I guess it's probably more expensive than paying a mortgage it would be, maybe, but, like, at least it's, at least, I never pay that. I had to back up before I feel for you. Yeah. Yeah. Light could be presented by a giant check engine light. I know, Edward. It really, truly seems that way. So I should move us in the direction of doing our housekeeping for the week. So this week, this week, the streams are today. I think we're just doing skip the line design critiques today. I think there's 4 of them that were ready as of right now that I have pulled and prepared. You can sneak a peek at their silhouettes in the YouTube thumbnail. I just thought it'd be silly to make you guys silhouettes. Secret. Thursday, I'm gonna talk about Miraculous Ladybug. Boy, do I have strong feelings. I'm still determining how I want to structure my Miraculous critique or just like design discussion, and I'm kind of torn about how to do it because on one hand, I do really want to compare the season 1 through 5 designs versus the season 6 designs. Yeah, it's Thursday. Do I have it wrong on Discord? The new time feature seems to be tripping me up significantly. Yeah, I think that's it. Oh my gosh, the format is different on all the days for some reason. The time format doesn't listen to me sometimes. It doesn't give me the format I want. But yeah, Thursday, Miraculous. Has so much potential that made me sad. Oh, I'll get into it. The silhouettes, the color design. Oh, there's so much more they could have done. I feel like there's just such an incredible quantity of missed opportunities. But there is still a lot of really clever stuff done in the design, so like we'll get into it. It won't just be me ragging on them. Like any show or series or anything, there's gonna be flaws. Not everything will be perfect, but not everything's a total loss either. Like there's some truly iconic design work done in that show also. Also, if Thomas gets within like 3 meters of me, I will laugh. That man cannot take a critique, and I don't know why he goes searching for it. He really cannot take critique and just like flies off the rails of defensiveness anytime someone says anything about the show, more or less. I don't know why he goes looking for it. In my time that I was researching for like me doing this on Thursday, he's in the comments of people who do like critique videos on it on YouTube. And like I was looking for just like, you know, things where people talk about the design on Twitter and stuff, and he's in all of them. Thomas Astruc is the director. He's one of the directors for Miraculous, and he is cool. Yeah, he's a maniac. He is crazy. He is quite the dude. I will say that like he is very politically active, and from what I've seen, like his politics are not necessarily bad. Don't quote me on that. But like, man, he really likes picking fights with children. The best thing to do if you are the showrunner is to have contempt for your audience. And I'm saying that sarcastically. Yeah, he's wild. He's something else. So if he shows up in our comments, I need you all to like just post like rotate emotes at him. This could potentially be the first time I have somebody who is a creator for one of the things I talk about in any way involved in what I discuss. Which would be incredibly funny. I doubt he would watch it live, because I don't think that seems to be what he's been doing. But if he leads a comment, I need you all to show up in my comment section and just like rotate on him. Even his self-insert is a loser in the show. I know. We'll talk about it. His insert is not a main character. His insert is like a one-off character who gets akumatized. But yeah. It's so funny. Billy and I watched that episode. The episode is at least interesting, but man. Billy may join us towards the ends of those days also, because Billy is also a character designer, and Billy is the one who introduced me to Miraculous, and Billy also has a lot of really strong feelings about Miraculous character design. Billy actually sent me a couple of lists of points that they would like to cover. I'm like, hey, we should make sure we point out all of these things. Yeah. It is quite interesting. So yeah, we'll do Miraculous on Thursday. Friday, we were here on Friday when Jubby was like, hey, or Thursday? Whichever day it was, when Jubby was like, hey, I want to be on stream. I've been asking to be on stream for weeks. That MF does not answer my questions when I ask them what they want to do on stream. I'm like, I asked Jubby like 3 times over the weekend. I was like, what do you want to do on stream this week? You have to tell me what you want to do. I have to put it in the schedule. You have to tell me. And they did not tell me, so I don't want to hear it. If they come in here again and say that they want to be on stream, I don't want to hear it. They can show up and hang out if they want to, but Fella, you gotta tell me, because I have to put the schedule out on Monday, and if you don't tell me before the schedule goes out on Monday, it has to happen the next week. That's the way it works. I abide by the schedule. I'm neurodivergent, I can't handle change. But anyways, Joby might show up maybe on Friday, I don't know. But as of now, we're doing Beep of the Lamb on Friday. Yeah. Consequences of their own actions while in action. Yeah. Yeah. Like, don't yell at them for it. We had a lot on our mind this weekend, but at the same time, I was like, player, you gotta tell me what you want to do, and I have to say okay or not okay to it. Because the thing I have to remind Joby of often is that, for as much as I am safe for work and family friendly, Joby does struggle to be safe for work and family friendly, because that's just not who Joby is as a person. You guys could do co-op lamb? Oh, that's true, I guess, but Joby'd have to buy the game. I guess we could do that. I could ask if Joby wants to. Gently throw a grape at them. Sure. I guess you could do that, potentially. Start asking very specific questions. I guess I could. But yeah, we always have to have Joby disclaimer if Joby's gonna be on stream. It's local co-op. Wait, so would Joby have to sit on my computer to play it? How would we both play it on my computer? Or let me play over LAN? Question mark. How's that work? Interesting. Need to ring the Joby alarm then? Yeah, so if Joby's gonna be consistently on stream, like Joby when they come in for a minute doesn't have any trouble like not cursing or not being inappropriate. If Joby's on stream for a while, they really have to try really hard to not make like, not even mildly, inappropriate jokes. I hear them all the time in my house and it's totally normal to me, but you can't have that for all of you, no. Save screen like old video games. That might be interesting while I'm streaming. There's not really enough space here for Joby to be next to me, and I don't know how we'd both control it, because I'm using keyboard and mouse, which covers the entire front area of the computer. Joby would have to be, I guess, on a controller, but my controller doesn't work. Computer, console, two people playing the same console. Yeah, on my Switch I would know how that would work, but I don't know how that would work on computer. We'll see, but I'll keep you guys posted on that one. Tell Joby I say hi, will do. I will tell Joby you all say hi. So, that's this week's plans. Outside of that, oh, I didn't make the new thing! Oh no, it's incorrect in the overlay. I have to do that tomorrow. I was a little distracted. I'm sure you'll forgive me from the fact that I had people in my home all day. I forgot to make the little, like, note for the new extra credit. We have new extra credit. Our new extra credit assignment for this month, which will go until, I think, March 9th is the due date, is Uma character design, Uma OC design. I've created a little area in the Discord server. If you have interest, let me link it. Wow, that's too many X's. Why did it put 3 of them? We're not being inappropriate. Just 1 extra credit. Bam. There we go. Not you using the glue emote. No. Rubric-chan, but Uma-sized. We do have a very little Rubric-chan today. Also, YouTube changed the icon for mods. They don't get a wrench anymore. They get a cube? The wrench made sense. You're a moderator. Why did they get a cube? What are you doing? Crushing people under the weight of blue cube? Oh, I appreciate your honk, Edward. I'll make a honk noise, but I have the sound alerts turned off right now because I can't sign in to remove the one that's causing us problems. So I'll just go, ha! Hit it with horse laser? I guess. I don't know. But yeah, so generally, guidelines for making an Uma Musume OC are... Let me actually go to the area where I have it in the server, perhaps. Generally, you can use a horse that is a real horse, a race horse, so a horse that's not a race horse could also be used, a character that's in a game or a show or a movie, a stuffed animal, pretty much anything as long as it's a horse. You can then turn that horse into a girl, a la Uma Musume. Uma Musume does follow a couple of like design philosophies though, which we're gonna try and mimic as well, which is that we're gonna take color palettes generally from the horses, jockeys, racing silks, or maybe from whoever rides the horse, or you can be creative and find some other way to determine what the color palette should be, but it should be inspired by something specific. So like, there was a really good example of an Uma who was designed based on Epona from Legend of Zelda, who was wearing green and blue because Link wears green and blue, depending on what the series is. And then, like, brown pants, because Link wears brown pants with a tunic. Like, you know, it was things that was clearly relating Epona's design to Link's. Similarly, if you're doing a racehorse or something that has, like, you know, if it's a game character who wins things or something, Uma Musume usually has a design element that repeats a number of times based on the number of G1 races the IRL horse won. So, like, I have my example, which is that I created a horse girl based on Hapu's Mudsdale from Pokemon a while ago. I will create a new Uma Musume for this one, but that was just the one I created before. For Hapu's Mudsdale, you battle Hapu twice in Sun and Moon, so Hapu gets 2 of the repeating thing for those 2 battles, you know? So, like, I'm finding a little angle to work it in. We're gonna be creative about it. There are also often, like, accessories taken from the horse that is then put on them, so, like, their ear guards, if they have a blaze on their forehead, if they have one white foot or the other, those things can all be incorporated in cool and interesting and clever ways, mayhaps, if you would like. And then also the accessory that's placed on the head to indicate if the IRL horse was male or female. So accessories on the left for male, right for female, both or neither for non-binary horses, because that totally can be a thing. Oh, hi, we've been raided. Hoot hoot. Hi, Plumies. Shroomates, can you rotate for the Plumies? Can you spin my head around in an owl-like fashion, please, maybe? To greet them and welcome them in. I am one of their kind. I was spying on Vil doing crochet earlier. There were men working in my house, and I was like, I need to make it sound like, because I wasn't in a call, but I was like, I really don't want to be observing you right now. I was like, I'm gonna make it sound like I'm speaking to someone in here, so I put Vil on my monitor and was snooping while Vil was doing crochet. But hi, Plumies, welcome in. Sing for the Plumies. I can't sing. Who do you think I am? I cannot sing. How is your crochet, I say, as if I don't know the answer already. Handy stream, even though there's mushroom for improvement. Oh, ho, 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 ho. Always a pun with you, huh? You were making, I think you were making a donut, question mark? You were making a really nice magic ring or magic circle. That circle was so magical. It turned out pretty decent, if I do say so. Shroomates, if you're unfamiliar with Vil, Vil is another character designer, artist, VTuber fella. If you have interest in the Wilhelm Vanderboss, you can find them on the YouTube and the VGen and the Twitter. Vil, do you have other things? I think you have other things, probably. Do you have Blue Sky? You might. I know a lot of the Shroomates are on Blue Sky, but yeah. Learning basics. Yeah. I want to make a donut sometime. Oh. Ooh. I particularly like making 3D forms. When I crochet, I hate making garments. I don't like making flat stuff. Squares, I can't do it. It bugs me. I love making amigurumi or like 3-dimensional forms, so donut is like, wahoo. Donut is good. I like donut. I've never made a donut. No, I haven't. I think the first thing I made was a lemon. Lemon. Blue Sky more so than Twitter nowadays. Ah, good to know. Okay. Ultimate goal is a keg. Oh, a cylinder. See, that's probably definitely doable. I would imagine that's doable. Mixed with some rings you could like crochet to put around the edges of it. I could see that working. Yeah, I would say a donut, I guess it's like preparing you for cylinder consistency, maybe, depending on how you're crocheting it. Although it seems like you're crocheting it from the bottom up. I actually don't. Something like that. Keg sounds different, a good challenge. Yeah! I'm thinking about like a way you could do the spout. My brain is doing math, because I've also written crochet patterns before, but you were doing a good job today. Good work! You got this! Minimal frogging, minimal frogs. Just a little bit of ribbit involved, but Bloomies, if you guys need to do things like eat, or drink, or snark me, please take care of yourselves. If you guys want to stick around and hang out, you're welcome to do so. We're still doing our housekeeping. I had a late start today because, as I said, my ceiling was crying. Oh, I didn't even explain what was wrong. The upstairs neighbors, their sink broke, but like under the floor. So it was still attached to their sink, and it was like the water line that's leading to the sink to come out broke in the ceiling, and then was just like coming down through the inside of my wall. It's like there's all this like bulged paint, both in my living room and in the kitchen, and then like there's a lot of water in my kitchen. We're still cleaning it up, but yeah, it's mostly handled. Pretty sure the yarn plumie is a plumie and a CAD pattern. I'll have to ask. Oh, really? I'd be intrigued to see also. I would be very intrigued to see. Thanks always for having us, CG. Of course. Thank you guys for stopping in as always. Hope the housework works out. Thanks, me too. Bill gave me a funny pun earlier when I was saying that my ceiling was leaking. Bill was like, oh, well, you should definitely make it sign an NDA. I can't believe it's giving out your secrets like that. Man, I'm making it sign an NDA. I'm making that thing get fixed. I can't believe it's spouting off facts about me. It's totally leaking stuff from my secret archives, and it's not allowed to do that. Patreon reference. Anyways, EG and Gary crochet patterns. I was supposed to make an EG crochet pattern, and then I lost it when I moved, when I was halfway done it. And then I just haven't gotten back around to doing it because I haven't done much crochet in the last, like, year, honestly. I think the only crochet I've done the last year was for Christmas gifts. I've crocheted a gecko, and what else did I make? I crocheted a wiener dog. I crocheted something else. Oh, I made a wine bottle for my sister. Or, no, not wine bottle. What is Tito's? Tito's isn't wine. What is Tito's? What? I don't know what Tito's is. I don't drink alcohol. I really don't drink alcohol. Vodka? Okay. Yeah. I made something else too. I made a bunch of things for people, but I don't remember what they all were, but they were good. I do enjoy. But yeah, crochet is fun. Oh, I have to continue. What I was explaining, Plumies, when you guys arrived, is our next art challenge. Vil does art challenges. I also do art challenges every month. This month, we're designing Uma Musume OCs because we like Uma Musume. Hashime, Hashime, Uma Musume. We could Uma Pyo a little bit too. Is that what you guys were telling me to sing? You wanted me to sing a little Uma Musume? Maybe. But I was explaining sort of the criteria. Where do we land on unicorn? You can totally do a unicorn. Any kind of horse, a Pegasus. You just have to find some way to make it a person and find some places you can like draw inspiration from. So like if you have a unicorn that exists, that'll be easier. An existing mule or a character design that exists as a mule, that works. Yeah, My Little Pony, totally valid. Could definitely do that. I saw people had designed Uma Musume OCs based on a bunch of other Pokemon. So I have a Mudsdale one, but people have made them for like Ponyta and others. Sky's the limit. If you have a stuffed animal that's a horse, you could design it based on that, and then instead of using the jockey silks, you could use what you wear because you're kind of their guy. You're the guy who takes care of them. Yeah. The Equestria Girls, but better. Yeah, I've heard not so great things about the designs in Equestria Girls. I've heard they're a little bit funky, or like they don't quite match the way people would have maybe imagined the designs turn out. Potentially, maybe. Take it into your own hands. We got a redraw challenge ongoing, but I think you might like the next one at the end of the month. Oh, okay. I see. I will keep an eye out. I frog blink at you. Phil, did you frog blink as a result of frogging things? Actually, I don't know. Most people, I think, make that a thing that their model can't do. I leave it because it's just the way I am. I'm a little strange. Both challenges sound fun? Yeah! Uma Musume is always fun. I love Uma Musume. Side games make some funny decisions. Every piece of media I love, the company has to betray me in some way, but the horses are fun. I like Taiki Shuttle. That's it. Designs are not great, but actual movies and specials are pretty cute. I see. Could I do a chocobo? They're horse adjacent. Striper, I think we draw the line there. That's not a horse. That is a bird. Just because you can ride it does not make it legal. It's not a horse. The definition of horse is a quadruped, equine, how do you say the word? Equine? Creature, quadruped hooved fella, who is a steed in some capacity. That is the definition of hort. Would the Swords of Justice count from Pokemon? Swords of Justice, is that a horse? I was an Equinox. Does that count? What? Equinox as in, is that a horse? Is there a horse called Equinox? The eclipse late, the rest, how does that go? What is the phrase from Uma Musume? Eclipse the rest, what is Rudolph's thing? Oh, I see. Ox, 'cause it's also a creature. I see, thank you. I thought you were making an Uma Musume reference, but I can't remember if the quote was. Is that the ancestral horse? Yeah, that's what I thought you were referencing isn't Equinox, yeah, the ancestral horse? And, what is the quote? It's, eclipse first, the rest later, I think is Rudolph's quote in the student council room. The rest nowhere. Yeah, eclipse first, the rest nowhere. Phil's making more of a, joke than we thought. Although it's not even eclipse that you're saying, I'm just totally confused as what's happening. Swords of Justice and Pokemon are adjacent to horses, and one of them is a horse. They're based on the Three Musketeers story. Let me just Google them so I can say, but like, if they are horse-like, if it's something that's clearly inspired by a horse, even though it's not physically a horse, that'd probably be fine. Swords of Justice. Oh, it's these guys. Yeah, you could probably do one based on those guys. Those guys would probably count. What are they called? What are their names? There's names for them. Cobalion, Terrakion, Virizion, and Keldeo? Man, trying to pronounce Pokemon names is kind of like trying to pronounce scientific names. I'm making a total random guess. Actually, I'm better at scientific names because I know how to sound those out usually because it's Latin. These I have nothing on. Terra, Earth, probably. Viri is for Viridian, green. Can't wait for the Slipnir Uma. Yeah, you can do a Slipnir Uma. You could do Kelpie Umas. You can use mythology if you want. Yeah. Bojack Horseman Uma. Oh my god. I mean, technically he's not quadruped or a steed, but he is a horse, so I guess that counts. Maybe. But yeah, if you have ideas, go for it. Do something. I might redesign one of the Uma mobs for mine. There is an Uma mob. I finally figured out what this note meant. I have this note that I didn't understand, which was marine seagull redesign. I was like, what the hell does that mean? What was I on about writing that down? Marine seagull is one of the Uma mobs in Uma Musume. She's just one of like the characters who gets like a nondescript design that you race against, who is not really all that much of a competitor. And I saw a cute trend where people were redesigning the Uma mob characters to make them cuter and make them feel like main characters. So I'm gonna look into Marine Seagull to see if I can find out if she's based on a real horse, because some of them are and some of them aren't. Some of them are. But yeah, I'll check them. Is Uma Bojack Horseman just stay gold? I don't know if I would agree with that. I don't know if I'd agree with that, but yeah, I want to redesign Marine Seagull because I like her name and I have some ideas. Maybe. Kalki from Miraculous, you totally could. You totally could redesign Kalki, and then you could use the outfit that is worn by, what is it? Is that Max? That's Max, right? You could use Max's design and the fact that he wears green, right, I think? You could use green as his jockey silks for the influence of the color. Yeah, there's definitely things you could do. Yeah, Spirit the Horse movie. Yeah, you could definitely use Spirit from the Horse movie too. The sky is the limit. There's totally a million ways you could be creative about this. Uma called Marine Sea. No Marine Seagull from what I can tell. Why did I write that down? I definitely saw one in one of the races. Maybe her name is just Marine Sea. Maybe I was gonna make her a seagull. I may have just hallucinated that into my writing accidentally, as I am wont to do. Brown. Could be brown. Barbie's Horse and Barbie Horse Adventure. Totally true. He's brown, not green. I swear to God, Max wears green. We're getting ahead of ourselves and talking about Miraculous. Max. Miraculous. Does he wear a green shirt? Yeah, when he's not transformed, he wears a green shirt. So if you wanted a color, you could have green. You can. I know Pegasus is just brown, but Max is wearing green. I'm not wrong. You can't see what I'm looking at. I'm not wrong. Google it. I was still right somehow. Marine Seagull's a mob. Yeah, playable called Marine Seagull's a mob. Yes. That was what I meant. That was what I meant. Yes. What about bulls? They hooves can be ridden by bull riders and are quadrupeds. I'm sure you could find a clever way to make a bull into one also. Sure. Even a cow if you really wanted to. I'll let you have a cow. Because I think people ride those too, or like an alpaca, a camel. Those are things people ride also. Those are steeds. That could work. Potentially. Maybe. That's fine. I guess. I'm really not going to try and limit your creativity, but just within the realm of reason. If I'm going to look at the thing and be like, that is in no way inherently related to a horse, then we'll finish. But otherwise, it's fine. Minecraft pigs, I think, are a little bit of a stretch. We're getting a little too far, I think, with that, maybe. Because we don't ride pigs in real life, but I guess you do ride pigs in Minecraft. If there's a named pig in Minecraft, maybe. I'll give it to you. Maybe. Potentially. Maybe. But yeah, so that is our extra credit for this month. If you are so interested, ! Extra credit. Oh, Bill may have sent me artwork for us to look at, maybe also. Unclear, potentially. Oh, oh my god, Plumey plushies. Not my first one on stream, just wanted to share. Totally fair, I will keep them for myself as a secret. That's my secret, but they exist and they're real. Oh, they're so cute. You guys should crochet more plushies. You should crochet more Plumies. Those are really good patterns. Don't know about Musume horse racing or even that much about horses in general, but when we voted deciding, I'm making buff Clydesdale woman. Yeah! Make a buff Clydesdale woman! Do it! Go for it! Absolutely! Ruben the Pig from Minecraft Story Mode? Sure, but I fear at that rate we might just be turning into, like, Gajinkas, which I guess is what this is anyway. But, like, if you were to design an Uma who is, I guess, the pig, whose colors are drawing inspiration from Steve's outfit, because that's the, like, Jockey Silk's equivalent, sure, I'll give it to you if you really want to. So you may have to give me the details. Like, when you guys submit your finished art for that one, please tell me, like, the origin of the Uma, along with the Uma. Yes, so that is the challenge for this month. I have more announcements. The announcements have not ended. We are almost an hour in and I'm an hour behind, so we truly probably will only get through 4 design critiques today. Good thing I knew to rein it in. Not to make a horse joke. I have a horrible horse neigh and I shouldn't even try, and I don't know why I did that. Embarrassing. But next, not oh you oh ho hoing. next, the Shroom State Minecraft server is real. It's open. It's true and real, and we fixed it, and it works, and we played some of it on Friday, and I'm so happy. It is real and it exists and it is true, and I'm so happy about it. So yeah, server is real. Server is real and exists and is true, and I'm very grateful to the Shroomates who helped me to make it be that way, because it took a little bit of testing. But, server is open when I'm in it for moderation purposes, which is going to be occurring at scheduled times. Those scheduled times right now are Tuesdays and Thursdays, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. EST. Those are the general times, because what I'm going to be doing is I'm just going to stick Minecraft open. I'm just going to open it, and then let you guys do whatever you want in the background while I work during the day. Which should be fine. Which should work out. It does allow 16 people now as opposed to 8. We'll see if that is maybe not enough. We'll see. It wasn't an issue on stream on Friday, but I guess people weren't necessarily prepared to play on Friday. Hoshi, I will re-drop you the stuff so that you can join, because I did have to change it a little bit. So I will re-paste in for you a link tomorrow, potentially. But yeah, it works. It's functional. Scheduled times for playing. Yippee. So theoretically, Tuesdays and Thursdays we'll be doing that during the day from here on out. Wahoo. If anyone played on Friday, the pack hasn't changed since then. But if you were not ever physically really loaded into the game and you haven't downloaded my mod pack since prior to Friday, you're gonna have to re-download the new version because I had to change it a little bit. But yeah, so Shroomstate Minecraft server real, and on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Here we have the Miku plushie mod. It didn't work before because fabric was outdated. I would have to, if we were to add that one, I would have to make everyone re-download the resource pack again. I'd have to make them re-download the mod pack again. And I'd have to update fabric and update the plushie mod, or put the plushie mod in. And that's to make them have to do that again and again, I wouldn't want to do that. I got 2 Shroomate mod packs. I look, you don't remember which one is which. Oh, I should put like numbers on them maybe. I'll send you the current one, just make sure you have it though, Hoshi. I'll send it to you tomorrow, when I open things up at 10 a.m. thereabouts. Sadly be working, but you guys have fun. Oh, I'm sorry. I know the timing might be kind of tough with it being during the day, but like I can't really monitor it during the evenings because I have things I have to go do in the evenings. So it kind of has to stay during the day, unfortunately, which may or may not be day depending on where you live. But yeah, it is a little bit tough, potentially. This is old news, but you know what PETA tried to do with Umusume? I'm sure it was some nonsense. PETA's always up to some terrible nonsense. So much of the money they raise just goes towards advertising, and they drive me nuts. But I'd imagine that's what it is. But yeah, so Minecraft server, yippee wahoo tomorrow. Be there and be square. Oh. Be there and be square. Then, continuing, there's still more. It hasn't ended yet. There's still more housekeeping. I actually hit the, like, I think character limit for housekeeping, which rarely happens. Although I think they actually reduced the maximum character limit for non-Nitro users, because I've definitely had housekeeping that was longer than this week before. I can actually scroll back in time and see housekeepings that were way longer. So I think they limited it, which is unfortunate. Curse you, Discord. Shakes my fist at clouds. Don't want to talk about Discord anymore? Yeah, they just upset me consistently. They really don't do much that makes things better. Most of what they do makes things worse, unfortunately. Did you see the news about Discord wanting ID verification? No, and if that's the case, I will no longer be using it. I'm not giving them my ID. You can't have that. False. Who do you think you are? No. Mm-mm. No. You don't get to have that from me. Not under any circumstance. If they implement that, bye-bye. Starting next month? For the love of God. Okay, well, for March, although set everyone as a teen account. Just need to do better security. I know, there's an easier way. We don't need to do that. That's such an easy thing for people to fake. What are they gonna do? Like, yeah, why do we need ID on the internet for everything nowadays? It's getting totally to a strange point. Man, we may have to see what's going on with that when that comes to pass. My account from 2017 is still a teenager. My account, I think, is also from 2017, which I shouldn't be a teenager. I wasn't even a teenager when I made it in 2017. Was I actually? Math? Hang on. Math's not correct on that. I think I was a teenager, actually, in 2017. I don't think I counted correctly. Was I? Potentially narrowly a teenager, maybe. Potentially. But I shouldn't be a teenager. I was over 18, I believe, at that time. So it shouldn't be, that shouldn't be the case. What about Discord? Roblox set me as 21 plus and never responded when I asked how to fix it. Why in the world? So Discord, or Roblox is actually doing the opposite for you, where the whole point was they were like, oh, we're trying to keep minors safe. And they're like, hello, minor. Nope. Ah! What a time. Anyways. So we'll figure that out. Continuing in the stuff that we have to go through as far as announcements go. Our art gallery. We have an art gallery. It's open in VR chat. It's real. I found a way to link you to it if you want to go visit it. It's in the announcements post. But if you just Google Mycelia Art Gallery and VRC or VR chat, you'll find it. It's called Mycelia Art Gallery. But I did link it in our announcements here if you want to go see it. Theoretically, it's going to be trapped in community labs until it gets enough foot traffic to push it to being like an actual real world. I don't know how much foot traffic it actually needs to break out of labs. So I really don't know how that all works. I don't even know why it has to break out of labs if I'm just hosting private events there. I really don't get all those divisions in VR chat, but if you want to visit it, you can go and visit it. Go visit it, go see. The current show is just Shroommate art. It's all the lovely art that Shroomates made for each other. I would look at VR chat scares me. You can have a private instance where you don't have to interact with other people. It's just like a fun little like immersive gallery you can walk around essentially. So you don't have to interact with other beings. And if you're using it on desktop, I mean, it is free. You don't have to have VR. Most computers seem to run it relatively well. My world is supposedly Quest and Android compatible, so it should be pretty light on resources, theoretically, but I don't have an Android to test it on, so I'm not actually sure how well it runs on Android. Don't have VR chat, but I really want to see it. So that actually takes me into my next point about it, which is that on Wednesday, I'm going to record a promo video for the gallery, sort of like showing off the fact that it exists. Because if you were here last week, you saw that when I tried to have a stream to show off the gallery so that everybody could see it, someone decided to be a jerk and cause a problem. So that VOD is down and doesn't exist. And so I'm just gonna create a little promo video for it, where I am going to have some background actors, perhaps. If you would like to be a background actor on Wednesday, send me a friend request. I am just Squiiji. Send me a friend request on VRC. I will accept you. Don't worry. That's the easiest way for me to invite you then on Wednesday. Wednesday at noon is when I'm thinking to be doing the recording for it. Yeah, I'm gonna make a walkthrough video of it to show everybody the art. I'm pushing an update to it also tomorrow to try and fix the cursed possessed food. Yeah, get your best model ready. If you have a model that is like just normally scaled and not in any way inappropriate, that's totally fine to wear. You can use pretty much whatever model you want. Yeah. Except maybe just don't use ones that are like ripped assets from other pieces of media because they may not like that on YouTube. Don't get me in IP trouble. But if you have like just like cute little fellas and stuff like that, use those guys. Yeah. Lost that streak there because that stream was like 30 minutes long and I was busy. Oh my gosh, I didn't even think about that. Oh no, the number of people who might have lost their stream streaks. Normally scaled, that includes me, right? In spite of my height. Yeah, Amber, you're fine. You're just tall. I meant normally scaled as in not being like 30 feet tall, not filling a whole room. Oh yeah, no, you're fine. You're a little bit tall, but that's fine. You're still somewhere in the reasonable height range, yeah. Relatable, I lost a streak of 37! No! Can't use Digimon? Yeah, no Digimon. Lance can't use the Honkai Star Rail models. No. Yeah, you were Godzilla and you took up a whole room. We can't be, not that. But we'll do a little walkthrough. I just want there to be people just sort of like ambiently hanging out in the space because that makes it seem a little bit more lived in. It feels a little bit empty when there's no one there. So your job on Wednesday will be stand in place, wander around a little bit, look at artwork, sit on chair, perhaps. But if you're interested in that, you are welcome to be in the promo video. So I will send out the join code for that. I can probably join if you're okay with that. Yeah! I'm just gonna send an invitation to join to every single person in my friend list that is in my friend list at that point in time. So I'll get everybody. If you're not signed in, you'll be fine and it won't matter, but like everyone's gonna get one. Speaking of, do chairs still result in flotation? No, I fixed that. I haven't pushed the update yet because I'm fixing a couple things, but I'm pushing the update tomorrow because I'm fixing that. I fixed the fact that there is one little plaque that's like further out the wall than the others. There's no trash cans yet, but I did fix the tags that were mislabeled. So like Eraser Caps, Mars, and Mad Buns, your tags are all fixed. The food is not possessed any longer, but the food is not able to be used right now because I actually don't know why the food is possessed. I followed all the things you're supposed to do to make the food interactable properly, and the food works totally fine when I simulate it. However, in VR chat, like the client itself, it doesn't work. So like right now it's just gonna be non-interactable, I guess, until I can figure out a solution. So yeah, good job, thanks! That's also what I was doing yesterday while I was taking psychic damage from house crying. I was also drawing clowns. Show a possessed food fight. No, not in my gallery, my beautiful white walls, all the artwork, no! Possessed food, no more. I know, the possessed food was like totally like teleporting itself around the whole gallery and making a mess, and we can't have that. But yeah, so that's tomorrow. Next, there is still more. If you didn't believe me, there's still more. Next, there is Rubric-chan merch, if you are interested. There is, I guess it's technically not Rubric-chan, it's just Rubric merch. If you like my character design rubric and you think it'd be funny to have something that has that on it in your space, here. There are, particularly mouse pads, stickers, and shirts that have the character design rubric on them, if you would like. I am personally getting myself one of the mouse pads because my current mouse pad is goofy and kind of broken. And the mouse pad, wouldn't that be like such a nice little place to have a reference so you can keep track of character design criteria? Or like a sticker where you can put it on like the inside of your drawing notebook or something? Right. What a conversation starter the actual physical rubric you're wearing would be, too. Yeah. Hang on, wait, I can show you them if you want to see. Can I buy one shirt and wear it and then post a faceless pic as Rubric-chan extra credit? Sure. I don't actually see why not. Sure. I mean, technically we don't have any rules about having your face in photos either. Shroomates have put their face in things they posted before, but if it's because you don't want to put your face in it, that's fine. You are allowed to have your face or not have your face. I don't care. That is up to you. Yeah. Hello. Hi. Oh, singing. Oh. I'll wear a motorcycle helmet then? Yeah, go for it. That's cool. But here, let me show you. I can show you the merch, and then I'll show you my clowns. Final thing that is just the note is that Shroomates Secret Archives Patreon. I think we get another outfit sneak peek this week. And the one other thing is like kind of unrelated to most of the stuff I do, but like kind of related. You'll see. It'll make sense. But if you're curious about things, there is Patreon, which I think. Is this what the command is? Oh, I was beaten to it. Jokarama got it before me. So quick, so fast. The mousepad goes so hard. Need me one? I'm glad you think so. Let me show everybody the mousepad. Let's teleport. I'll put us in the internet room, I think. Ooh, or no, just the full screen room. Yep, here we go. I keep trying to retime that thing, and it just never works. Face is just like out there from Otakon, not from EG's pictures, something else. Oh, yeah, say I kept all my pictures from Otakon to myself and as secrets, but were you somehow in like some other official media? That's crazy. Is this Xenoblade? I think it is Xenoblade. You could be correct. Yes? My face is in a vlog from Otakuthon, if you know where to look. Whoa, that's crazy. I wonder if I show up in one of them. How wild. Can maybe get a new mouse pad? My old one is cut in half. No! Mine is just doing that thing where like the fabric peels up from the edge of it. It's unfortunate. Whoops, you're seeing my view, which is not what you're supposed to see. You're supposed to see this. There we go. Look, look! Here are these stickers. There are stickers. They come in 3 sizes, 3x3, 4x4, and 5x5, depending on how big your notebook is that you may want to stick it into. They are very sticky. And they are square. And I guess you can gift them to Twitch chat. It's telling me that I'm live. I didn't know. And then one of the craft room pictures. Oh, ooh, I wonder if they took a picture of my panel. I like wasn't paying attention. Joby has pictures of my panel, but I wasn't paying attention if they would have taken a picture of me in the panel or not. If they did, I want it, because there's no pictures of me in the panel where you can actually tell there's other people in the room with me. All the pictures of me in the panel are of me and just me in the screen. But stickers! T-shirt! There's a version of the shirt that has the rubric on the front, if you want the front one. And then there's a version of the shirt that has the rubric on the back. And then you get my logo on the front. Matchy matchy. Waha. Rubric. It should be very nice and easily legible. This is making it seem a little bit crusty, but it should be a high quality, very clean image. And then here is the rubric mousepad. Look at that. Wow, 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 wow. Look at those beautiful rounded edges on the whole thing. I didn't keep the extra credit on the mouse pad just because of the ratio, but look at that. It's so nice. I'm getting one. I haven't ordered mine yet, but I probably will order mine. We kill for a nice polo with the EG logo. I want to wear it to work. I'll see what I can do. I'll see what I can do. Writes things down. If anyone else wants a polo. Would you want the EG logo, or do you want my, like, Shroom State University version of my logo? Like the usual EG logo, or do you want that thing? Do you want this thing, or do you want the, other one? Mushroom logo? Okay, we can do mushroom logo. Logo on polo. Well, that kind of rhymes. Are the acrylic keychains out yet? No. I don't want to talk about it. I'm losing my mind. I'm losing my mind just a little bit. Edward's shaking. Thank you for shaking. I'm just losing my mind a little. Someone should do a picture of their rubric holding the sticker. My rubric is holding the sticker. You can even fill out the rubric with what grade you have personally received if you wanted to with these designs, but yeah. No, I'll keep you updated on Keychain as I receive feedback and news on it. I'm really sad because I was really excited about that, but for now, rubric merch. At the very least. At the very least, we have rubric merch. Love the no while eyes in Twitch. No. 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 Let me put us into the drawing room. Also, hi! Hello, all of you funny little creatures down there. Meep. Wah. Wahoo. Whoop. Whoops! Collision! Wow! Wee! I gotta throw a couple of you for good measure. I like that when I throw most of you, you just like drift off screen. I think it's easier for me to just pick you up and drop you more so than it is to throw you. I think I'm doing this wrong. I should be slingshotting you instead of throwing. And now you're all bombing each other. Very kind of you. Have you ever heard of a patty straw mushroom? I have. I believe I have heard of that. Those are the ones... Are those the ones that are, like, debatably edible, but are, like, maybe mildly... hallucinogenic, question mark? There's one. There's, like, a cow patty mushroom that is mildly hallucinogenic, I think. I don't know that much, though. I've heard of it. I don't remember which one it is, though. Bomb costs 10, you leave 1 gold. Hey, earn your gold, Shroomates. Just yeet them all. What was the command for yeeting everyone? Was it Mega Bomb? Does that do anything? Seems apparently not. How to earn gold? That's a great question. I don't actually know how you earn gold. I think you earn gold if you win the Battle Royale mode. Switch point gravity was fun. Oh, was it? Was that what made you guys all float? A lot of these commands I think only I can do. But it seems like they're not working as I try and do them. Oh, wait, hang on. Rex did a Battle Royale, but it didn't let me do gravity for some reason. I don't understand. Oh my gosh, there's so many of you. Wow. All of your little names. Watching would explain it. Oh, do you get it from watching? That would make sense. Fight, my little minions. Fight. Got a little gladiator arena. Look, it's me. Can I interfere? Can I just go like... Oh, I can't. I can't interfere. It has to be fair. I can't edit anyone. I can't impact them. You can't bomb, it seems like, either. There's, like, health packs dropping. But I don't think you can harm people, potentially. Watch streams, slots, jump catch game, battle royale. Got for watching. I got 50k on the sheep stream. Really? Interesting. Yeah, I do have it open in the background even when, like, you guys can't see it, so I guess that is what's happening. Well, only a couple Shroomates remain. Epitaged, Mika's Moonbrew, Soul Kingdom Creator, One-Eyed, I can't read your name now, and Binary Star, One-Eyed Earth. Oh, Final 3. Final 3. Oh, my Soul Kingdom. Binary Star versus Ox-Eyed Aerith. Not Aerith, not Earth. Whoop. Binary Star, you had so much health left. That's crazy. That was so much. Congrats. Good work. Little smiley face. Celebration. We can do like a firework. Whoops, on high school firework. Bam. Firework celebration. Just for you. Keys? Yeah, I'm a little distracted. I do have to focus up because it's 4 o'clock. So, let's go to the drawing classroom because I think that was all I had to say other than the fact that I'm going to make you look at my clowns. Here, wait. You have to look at my clowns. You legally have to look at them. I kind of need to fix some things about this one. There's some things wrong with her and they're driving me nuts and I need to solve them. But, I was possessed by the idea while my house was leaking water to, be like, hey, you know that, like, ruffle that clowns often have that really, like, undulates back and forth? I bet that would work well as a motif in a maid dress. So, I made clown. Here she is, clown. Domo, thank you for following. I appreciate it. Domo. Domo. Nope, never mind, hang on. Can't do that twice today. But clown maid! I have to fix things about her because I was using a different pen than I usually use, and the line weight settings were a little funky, so, like, she's, like, weirdly dimensionally flat. I gotta fix a couple things, but yeah, I made a clown! Look at her, isn't she so cute? She's got a diamond motif and some ribbons. So she's more of a traditional maid, and then I made her a friend yesterday because she was lonely. You can't just design one character sometimes. Sometimes you have to design 2 because they get lonely unless they have a friend. I should put them on the same canvas because they're kind of lonely still right now. I've got them trapped in different rooms. They're in the same circus, but they're just not together. And then I made her a mime maid also. Oh, this one got classic EG blush because pom-poms were another part of her design, so they referenced the shape of the pom-pom. Mime maid did not get it because it felt too busy. But this is Mime Maid. She's pretending to sweep. Yeah, she's a mime sweeper, which I also thought was funny. But she's pretending to sweep. She's like not really helping. She's only pretending to help. Look at her. She's so sad. Look at her little face. But she got a heart motif because I thought it'd be cute to have a little heart on top of her beret. So they have like somewhat matching outfits. You can tell that they work in the same location. But they're so cute. Yeah, Pierrot. Reminds me of Betty Boop. Yeah, I was thinking about Betty Boop a little bit when I was working on her hair. Yeah, so I was having fun. This is part of my goal for the year. If you guys remember, I was supposed to create this year. I was supposed to create 100 characters by the end of this year. By the end of 2026. So this is part of that. I'm debating whether or not I should put some of the characters I designed for my 100 Designs Challenge, like, up for adoption. 100? Yeah, I have, like, 8? Which is not great for where I am in the year right now. But actually, wait, that is kind of great for where I am in the year right now. It's only February, and I have 8. That's, like, at least a 10th of the way there, so that's not too bad. Post these as options for Art Fight. I guess I could put them on Art Fight as options, but I was debating putting them up for like adoptions so that people could use their designs for something, because the problem I have is that if I design like an OC or something like that, I draw them once and then never again. I don't tend to draw my characters very repetitively. I'm not like an OC oriented person. If I'm gonna draw someone, a lot of times it's usually fan art. I'm like not attached to my OCs in that kind of way. The only reason EG gets drawn a lot is because I kind of have to. But, like, I don't tend to, like, create things for them. So, like, I might put my mime and my clown up for adoption so that somebody who likes their design and wants to draw them more and will, like, you know, give them a loving home and stuff like that is just, like, going to people to, you know, put them to better use than I could, I guess. I don't know. If people need, like, a VTuber design or something, I guess they could be a mime or a mime maid or a clown maid, too, is fine. Want to make them a VTuber? Yeah, I guess they could be a VTuber. I'm not necessarily going to create a model out of them, I don't think, because I don't really have the ability to do that. But yeah, good for adoptions. Want to see a mime and a clown made VTuber? Maybe I will. Okay, we'll see, we'll see. I think I can sell them out of my VGen shop that way. We'll see, but I was just possessed by the need to create these little guys, and I'm sort of finally honing in on how I want to draw proportions for characters. I've been having a hard time for a while, so you can see my head size varies a lot. Friday, you saw, or not Friday, or wait, no, yes, Friday. Friday, you saw my designs that were for Rubric Chan, and that was before I had sort of locked things in. I started that very early into some of my proportioning studies I was doing. This is much later. I like the hat the Minesweeper has. Feels a little toothy. It does kind of feel toothy. I thought it also reminded me of an apple. It's just this little like maid thing that they wear, but yeah, I don't know. We got a preview for the Summer Miku 2026. Summer Miku 2026? I don't know. Summer Miku 2026. Snow Miku 2027 should be starting any day now, right? Or did it already start? Did I miss it? Yam and I are usually pretty on top of when that happens. I gotta get ready for that, because that is usually the February sprint, is Snow Miku designing. We'll see. I think I'm better prepared for Snow Miku than ever before this year. I think I'm just getting more and more prepared for it, and I'm gonna win one day. I'm gonna win one day. I'm gonna make it happen. I'm gonna make it real. Even if I have to keep doing it for like 80 years, I'm gonna keep doing it until I win. Because statistically, I have to win eventually, right? Maybe, question mark? I actually don't think that's how it works at all, actually. But I can't give up. The fun is just creating something for it. But I think I'm better prepared than ever before, because I've been doing it more times, and every year I learn more. I still love my designs from last year, and I lament that they won't go anywhere, but they were good. Yeah, never give up, never surrender, especially when it comes to Miku. But yeah, now I think it is time that we officially, definitely for sure, need to lock in and do things. 1 in 1,000,000% chance. I think my odds are actually higher than that, at least, Hoshi. I'm a little bit more likely than that. I believe the number of submissions that are received are somewhere...
You want a hot model? You want a YouTube or Twitch partnership? You want 500 CCV? You better work. Beep, you want a dream collab? Be a cameoshi? Look hot in 3D? You better work. Beep, you want to get million subscriber? Live in a big content house? Party in conventions? You better work. Beep, you better work. Beep, you better work. Beep, you better work. Beep, now get to work. Beep. Now get to work. Beep,
did you ignore the other ah? You've only read one of the ahs. Yeah, Gary is rapping. I'm certain that this is a reference to something, but I don't know what it is a reference to. I don't know this song. At least I can't recognize it from Gary singing it right now. I think that was a bot. That was Gary reading. Gary is the bot who read. Why is he a British woman? Because I guess he's forgotten how to be Australian. The VGS Pog is just like not working normally. I don't know what is up with it. Britney Spears work? Oh, okay. I like your gritty goose. Thank you, Edward. Yes, this is a goose. This is Rubric Chan 2.0 designed by Stryker. I'm so happy that we have Rubric Chans back with our rubric. It really truly makes me so happy to have like a little creature as a companion to this very cold, lonely grid of squares. Having something over here just makes it so much more friendly. It's so much more positive. I like it. I gotta put my hair back on, hang on, and then we start. And then I take roll, and then we do all the things we're supposed to start stream, and then we start. It only took me an hour and 20 minutes to yap. I had a lot of announcements in my defense. I had an unusually high quantity of announcements, so I don't think you can blame me. Right? Can't blame me for anything anyway. This is my house. I'm in charge. I make the rules. I do the goose gritty. I like can't really do it because you can't see my legs, but I can at least like do my arms kind of. But this is Rubric Chan, the OSHA Operative Goose by Stryker Venom. This thing that you see here before you is our character design rubric that we use for critiquing VTuber designs, so that we may remain as objective and unbiased as possible when we are looking at them. I'm a teacher. This is how I operate. So, in order to receive full points for a character design, you need to score 2 points in each of 5 categories. Those categories being color palette, silhouette, complexity versus clarity, focal point, and concept and motifs. Oh, I have to move that down, actually. Wahoo. So, in order to get full points for color palette, the palette should be cohesive and interesting, the contrast should work at a distance, the color placement should support the focal point, and there should be a strong color hierarchy present. You will get no points for color palette if the palette has major instances of low contrast, clashing, or overwhelming choices, or the hues or values should just be completely revisited according to me, likely. For silhouette, to receive full points, the silhouette should be unique and easily identifiable in and of itself. There should be strong visual weight, positive and negative space interplay, and contrasting shape language present. You will receive no points for your silhouette. If the silhouette is non-distinct, blob-like, exhibits ladder design, or just otherwise just needs a ton more definition. For complexity versus clarity to receive full points, the level of detail should be appropriate to the design, and its medium. The details included should be specific and support both the concept and the focal point, and I should be able to turn your design into a cute little marketable plushie without removing all of the elements that make you uniquely identifiably you. You will get no points for complexity versus clarity if your design is too distractingly complex or too simple to the point of genericness, or I can't turn you into a little plushie. For focal point, in order to receive full points, the primary focal point should be well executed. The viewer should be drawn to look at the face first, then visually explore the rest of the design. There can be secondary focal points in other parts of the design. However, the face should be primary because the eyes are the window to the soul, and the face is how a viewer can form a connection with you as a person. You will receive no points for focal point if the focal point is not at all focal due to low contrast, over/under detailing, or being completely outcompeted by other elements. And finally, for concept and motifs, in order to receive full points, the concept should be clearly, creatively, and thoroughly explored and supported by motifs. Key conceptual aspects should be identified visually. This includes things like your character's occupation, fashion style, species if they're an animal, any particular motifs, or just layers that they may have. I should be able to identify just by looking at them, theoretically, hopefully. You will receive no points for concept and motifs if the concept is visually unclear, underdeveloped, or non-existent, if the motifs do not support the concept or are just over or underutilized in every way, shape, and form. You can also receive up to 3 bonus points. Those bonus points are for having a compelling, unique, or otherwise well-executed concept, having a unique, exciting art style, or if I put it on the fridge, because I just like it. Yeah. So I want to get that all out before I get distracted again. And King, thank you for following. I appreciate it. Now, let's take roll. Hi, Shroomates, who's here for class today? If you would like to take roll, if you'd like to be part of it, if you'd like me to say hi, enter name, and call you. You can use the 1 channel point redeem on Twitch, which is here, or on YouTube you can just say hi or here or hello or present or something. Even if what you're saying is the word something in direct quotes, that's fine. I accept that. So let me scroll back. I'm gonna take a sip of my water while we do that. The water was off. My kettle doesn't work and my water was off, so I'm drinking water that is technically from yesterday. I think everything's back on now and is working fine, but I'm drinking kind of stale water. It don't taste great, and I'm sad because I would normally want to be having hot chalky or tea, and I don't have hot chalky or tea right now. I guess well, actually, no, microwave. Still water, not the kind that's dangerous. This is filtered water, and it was in an enclosed thing, so it's not like it was just open to the air. It just tastes funny, because it wasn't refrigerated. Did the mug heater break? Wait. Wait. You might actually be so smart. You might be so smart, because I guess I could just... I wonder how long it would take to heat it to a good enough temperature, because the mug heater does work. So I guess I could just put my hot chalky in a mug and just put it on the mug heater until it reaches a drinkable temperature. Big brain. Moss Cake, I'm gonna be doing that this evening. I'm not gonna do that during streams. I don't want to run out of here right now, but I'm writing that down. That's smart. Can water get stale? In flavor it can. Like, sometimes your water will take on the flavor of things that are around it. Like if you put it in the fridge and it sits there for a long time. So it just tastes a little funny, but you can still drink it, it's fine. But it is strange, I guess. Not sure it would cook it. I mean, it gets pretty hot, so it might totally work. I'm gonna try it perhaps this evening, maybe. If I can be patient enough for it to do it. What's the name of the rotation song someone made of you? I actually don't know what the name is off the top of my head. If you Google me, if you just Google Squiiji, it's on the first page of results though. Lance posted it, I think in r/virtual YouTubers, and that's how I find it when I need it, but I actually don't know what it's called. What is it called? Is it just named after me? It might be Squiiji, but it might also be called Rotation. If you just Google Squiiji, it's on the first page of results though. Yeah. Taste your night water in the morning, it's gone stale but still safe. Yeah, it just tastes funny. It like takes on the flavor of things around it. Hey, I know I said you can raise your hand for a roll, but not like that. Your hand should not be raised against me. Ouch. One of these days I'll add sound effects to that, because the fish has a sound effect, the shroomate has a sound effect, but the hand doesn't have a sound effect. I could definitely improve it. I could add a sound effect. Oh, Striker, did I thank you for resubscribing? Was I distracted? I might have. But if I didn't thank you, you now get a thank you while I'm doing the funny noise. Welcome back, Striker, for 19 months. Wow! That's a lot. 19 is a big number. That's crazy. And I say that every time I see any number, but like, I still truly cannot like conceptualize just how big of a number that is. Huge numbers. Month 20 is gonna be crazy. Month 20 is gonna be wild. Also, I don't know how that's like, are we really only 4 months away from me unlocking subscribers? I guess it's crazy. Ladders that make noise? Yeah, I know. I need to find a noise for ladder and stuff too. I feel like sound design is currently underutilized on my stream. I could use more sound design. So, let me see who's here. I see Argan Sykes, Dia Fiora, It's Misfit, Luanson, Cotton Candy Floss, Star, Nico Esco, Binary Star, Weenie Nini, Low Fox, Angel Alsu, Refracted Fluff, Nyabari, Epitagged, Edward, Nilo, Chokorama, Viraku, Angel Kitty, Lemia, Mad Buns, Cappuccino, Art Fun, Bleak, Me, Jazzy, March Rabbit, Kaniko, Ame, Opera Tease, Opera Tis here. Splitting up your name, my brain always struggles over. Perona, Amber, Vixen, Fia, Sanazum, Corey, Serme, Gethiest, Taboo, Wakob, Rex, Nixdorf, Nee, Catboy, Fratboy, what a name. Manzana, Yorkie Atome, Hushi, Seasonal State, hi. The song is indeed called Rotation, okay. I see. It was too late. EG did it themselves. Did what? Oh, focused? I focused. I snapped back in. Don't worry. YouTube Shroomates. I see Muskcake, Pumpkin Toss, Muskcake, Soaking Creator, and Inky is scared. Hi. Hello. Now we perhaps get started. We start. Today we are pretty much just doing skip the line design critiques because we had 4 of them, and that is already more than half of a stream's worth. And I think last stream was almost all skip the line design critiques too. We've had a lot of them. Yeah. Twitch is not letting me claim my bonus channel points, which is so rude. Oh my god, let me tell you, I was so mad about it also because it also doesn't work for me and other people's channels right now. Just line critiques? Yeah, today is just line critiques. Today we have Kaneko, Ira Corva, who is Vix Enfield in our Twitch chat. We have Amber, my mod. And then we have Art Fun's character Henry. Art Fun, you'll have to tell me whether or not this is the persona you use or not. Because you go by Art Fun, but I wasn't sure about the name making sense. And you refer to him as he, which makes it sound like you're not referring to yourself. So I was just unclear. Oh no, see? Okay, good to know. I see. Oh, Amber is vibrating at high speeds. I'm glad you guys like that emote. I liked making it. I like having little Edie who shakes excitingly to convey my feelings. Oh wait, I read the rubric. What do I have to do still? What did I not do? Drink water. Water's been drank. Oh, bingo! Bingo was his name. Oh. Nope, not slash. Bingo's exclamation point. Bam. Play bingo with me, please. I'm begging you. There's only 4 today, so we'll have to see whether or not it's possible to win a bingo today. But I want to play bingo. Let's pin that. Pop! And now, YouTube Shroomates. Bingo. Lack of lines? Not lack of lines. More so that people are dodging the line. They're avoiding the line. Oh, thread? What? I don't want to create a thread. Oh. Helps to replace my that I would do otherwise. Hey, there you go. I mean, also works well for an Amber, perhaps. I missed these joining. Yeah, I released those on Thursday, I think for my birthday, right? Perhaps? Actually, can't remember what day I gave them to you, but last week they appeared. There's 6 of them, so there's 3 that don't move and 3 that do move. Ruku, if you're looking through. So there's a couple of them. But, oh, prediction also. What do we want to predict? Do we want to predict if I'll get through all 4 designs, considering it's 4:30? Or do we want to predict... Actually, that seems like a good prediction. Will I get through all 4 designs today, is the prediction. I'm supposed to get through all 4. I should. I'm gonna try my best. But I don't know if I'm on a very good track for that right now, unfortunately. Will Squiiji finish by 6 p.m.? Nar, yar, and you have 20 minutes to tell me. And by finish, I mean get through all 4 critiques, because we're supposed to do 4. We're supposed to do 4. We're really supposed to do 4. I would really prefer it if we did 4. Man, it would be really nice if I could do 4. I would really love it if I could have 4. 4, yesn't. Normal ending time? Yeah, normal ending time. 6 p.m. is normal ending time, whatever time that is for you. The usual time. The usual. What's a nice way of saying that's not gonna happen? A nice way of saying it is to keep your mouth shut. Didn't your mom ever teach you? If you don't do something nice today, don't say anything at all. Hey. Anyways, this is Kaneko. Kaneko, I have a question for you, or I guess anyone else who uses these pronouns. How do you pronounce them? I have always wondered what pronunciation we use for X, because I've always thought I was supposed to pronounce this as chi and chem, but I don't think that's correct. But I also don't know, because I've never met somebody like physically in life who uses those pronouns for them to tell me how to say them. So if you guys have an answer, tell me. I'm intrigued. But Kaneko Bunny, chi chem or xi xem or ki chem? One of those, potentially? Or she, her, as pronouns. And then credit is at kanekobunny.bluesky.social. I've heard zem, but I don't use them. I've heard it as a Z sound. Zem. Interesting. Like zazem? Oh, zazem. Where's pole? Pole should be at the top. It should be pinned. I would pronounce them like x, but I don't use them either. Xi? Always say zem. Interesting. Okay. I'm intrigued if Kaneko is here. Kaneko, are you here? Are you here for Skip the Line? We don't have to start with you if you're not here. I think I've read your name, though, earlier in roll, but you may just be distracted or doing other things right this second. Love Xem? Yeah. Summon the bun. Kaneko, wherefore art thou? I would feel bad if we did a Skip the Line without them here, though. Maybe we'll start with somebody else. I saw their name when I was doing the calling things out earlier, so maybe we'll do Kaneko, because the point of the Skip the Line thing is also you can be here physically. We'll keep an eye out for Kaneko. Maybe Kaneko has stepped away for a minute. Maybe we'll start with Vixenfield, because I think Vixenfield I saw was here. I think this is the German version for they, them, but I'm not sure. What? Is it? German version for they, them. Die das... Wait. Der die das or the... Is that? Maybe? I don't know. I can't validate that. My knowledge of German does not figure that out. Never understand what we're doing anymore. We're doing VTuber design critiques. Vixenfield is here, so you're here, so we'll start with you. One guy moving on, fair. Vixenfield is Irakorva, she/they. Hi, Squiiji. I want to say how much I love your streams. They've really inspired me to work on my skills as an artist and to push myself to think more creatively. I really value your input and appreciate any and all feedback you can provide. This is a sketch of a model I'm making for my best friend. She knows I love VTubing and asked me to make her a model so we could do it together. Oh, that explains the name difference. I was wondering why you have different names, but it's because you're making it for someone. I see. She's given me 100% artistic freedom, no pressure, and I just want to make sure the design concept is as good as possible for her before rendering and rigging. The irresistible, iridescent Ira is a raven harpy who owns and performs at the Birdcage Theater, a reference to my friend's favorite movie. While her enchanting song is what initially draws people in, her charisma, wit, and charm keep them coming back. Regardless of whether Ira is the star of the show or part of the audience, her love of movies, plays, and musicals knows no bounds. She can go on for hours talking about the actors, directors, music composition, etc., especially if it involves her favorite genre, romance. When she's not busy performing, Ira enjoys traveling all over the world learning about different cultures and their history, language, architecture, and cuisine. I see. I see. I see. I see. So my first comment that I have about this is not necessarily about the design itself. I would caution you about being named, or your friend about being named Irakorva, because that is, I believe, one letter off from another VTuber's name. Isa Korva is a relatively popular VTuber who is also a similar species of animal, I believe also a crow. So I would caution that the name similarity may be confusing, unfortunately. And I know that you're both taking inspiration from the bird and what the bird is called, but I don't know if it's going to serve you very well, and I don't know if it's going to make you... I don't know if the SEO is going to be very effective. No idea, I'll change that. Yeah, I mean, last name maybe can stay because that is a very direct reference, but I would suggest maybe changing the first name? 2 letters, Isa's a double A. Okay, so it's different in spelling, but if we're thinking about the way we say it, Isa and Irakorva versus Isa Korva is very, very similar as names. It'd be like if I existed and was Squiiji, and then there's another person who names themselves, like, DG. It's different, but it's still pretty similar and could be confusing. Yeah. I thought of Kara Corvus as well, popular streamer. I mean, I guess everyone does use that as a last name, because it's easy to do. But I think just a different first name would be good. I read that as Ira? Oh, is her name read as Ira? I feel like I hear people call her Isa, or... wait, Ira? Ira? Isa? That might help, but I would say that just having a name that is more different... Ira. Okay, I didn't know that. Maybe still stands as far as spelling, though. It could use to just be a different first name or a different last name. You don't have to change both, necessarily, but one might be useful to prevent, being buried in search results, potentially. But that doesn't have anything to do with the design itself. So, you are an irresistible, iridescent raven harpy who owns and performs at a theater. Aha. Okay. I definitely can see the bird angle. the hair makes it very clear. The eyelash makes it very clear. The legs make it very clear, which you actually can't even see right now. Why is this cropped weirdly? I feel like the crop isn't accurate right now. How weird. Oh, Kaniko's back! Welcome back! Sorry, we'll do you next, Kaniko. I didn't want to start yours when you weren't here. But yeah, I can see from the repetition of feather motif that this is somebody who is in fact a bird and is related to birds. So I get that part pretty quickly. What differentiates a harpy from a bird person, though? A person who's just a bird would be my question. Harpies are good singers, that's a thing they're known to do, but birds are also good singers. What is the mythology of harpies? I will say, I'm not as familiar with harpies as maybe I should be, but to my understanding, harpies usually are a little bit more inhuman, and they're not super trustworthy. Usually have arm, wings, and bird feet. Okay, so we've got bird feet. I'm seeing in images when I just search for harpies that it seems like they are almost entirely bird except for their head. Often it seems like they are beautiful women who are trying to draw you in with something. Percy Jackson, the Olympians gang, where are you? I read that series, but reading doesn't give me a mental image. Don't Google harpies and show the image. I won't. There are exposed breasts, which is a thing that harpies, I guess, did have often. Mostly bird, human head, and sometimes human chest. Okay. I see. Okay. Makes sense. So I do think... I don't know if there's actually going to be a necessity for there to be a clearer distinction here, because unless you want to make this character less human, the harpy angle may not be super clear. But I guess lore-wise, we can just accept that you are more humanized, potentially, or this design is. When I say you, I'm referring to Ira, not you as in Vix Enfield. You see the shape of Booba plate armor that hints at bare chest but isn't. I could see that. The other thing I was thinking with looking at you is that I don't know if I think you look like a performer necessarily. Like having like feathers or like a feathered boa is something we can associate with somebody who's a performer often. Like maybe like a lounge singer or something. But it feels like you're wearing a bathrobe a little bit, which maybe this is your clothing that you wear when you're not out on stage. A feather fan. Yeah, like I feel like there could be some things that would make it clearer that you're a performer. Right now it feels like we're behind stage. A high leg slit is good if you're trying to be alluring, but I'm not sure that this like choice of dress makes sense. Because it'd be more backstage, going to commission like a dressing room background for her. Oh, okay. Maybe then it would be nice if we could see that this is being worn over what her clothing that she performs in is. So like if you're performing in something that's like a skin tight number that's like real flashy and gold and showy in the sense that theater can be, maybe if we could see that there's like, I don't know, here's, whoops, that's opacity. My brushes are all funny right now. But if we could see that like, oh, there's something going on under here as a secret, or like if we're trying to go for something like real theatrical, I've seen like this type of like collar style maybe as being something that'll feel like bougie and fancy in the sense of like somebody who's a stage star might wear. And then if we could see like on the leg peeking out down here, maybe there's like, oh, we're wearing like a tight skirt that also has like a high slit on it or something. But like we can see it wrap around just like a little bit in front. Just mirror that slit a second time. Honestly, it doesn't even have to be that long. But just so that we have something that's hinting at the fact that this is a bathrobe and it is being worn over something. But we're still getting the hint towards the fact that you're not just cozy loungewear. You're covering your clothing while you're backstage and waiting to perform, perhaps. I've only picked gold because gold's already in the palette. I see you have all these colors in the color palette over here, and I'm guessing that it's just because we don't have rendering yet that we're not seeing the iridescence. Because I think that that will add some sort of necessary color interest, because the design right now is very one color. It's a little bit one note as far as color goes. Everything is more or less the same value other than your skin. A headset? Maybe. I guess if you're a performer, you could wear an earpiece, but I don't actually know if theater performers wear that. Although I guess if you're playing a character in the theater or you're singing, you could wear some sort of headpiece because that would be worn regardless of whether you're, you know, relaxing backstage or not if you're getting ready to go on. Like the differences in the shades of black. There is a difference in them, but I think we could use maybe a little bit more distinction. This design is like 80%, I think more than 50% gray. This would be really funny to do. If I put a correction layer on here and remove your saturation, it's not going to change very much. But do we see how you're pretty much all in one value range? Your hair, the bathrobe, the legs are all pretty much one value. The feathers here do get darker, but it's really, I feel like the only thing that does. And then your skin's lighter, but I think we could have a much broader array of values in this design, perhaps. Like the feathers would be iridescent once it's rendered. I guess they would be, and that may add some brightness to it and may add some clarity, but it's just something to make sure you're being careful of. Feathers like in Can-Can? That's what I was thinking they may be. Depends on the era of the theater. That's true. What era of theater is this? When are you performing? When is she performing? What time period is this in? I was thinking of something somewhat modern with the way I designed the dress, but if you could find something that's like associated with a particular era and their stars, that might be even better. The more specific you can be, the better. More modern day, not necessarily retro. Okay. Find, perhaps, if there is a star that exists, you could probably find somebody who exists now and see the way that they dress themselves for their stage performances and reference some of that. Because I guess right now, sort of in popular lexicon, what do the girlies wear on stage to perform? I don't think I've seen a performance in a minute, so I may be underqualified to make a suggestion here. Does give more vintage to me, maybe even 20s. That's what I was thinking. The feathers seem very 20s to me. And the cut of the robe seemed sort of 20s to me. The hairstyle being sort of flipping up and off to one side felt similarly too. So like, it may not be a bad idea to set this in the past, but if you're going for something modern, we may have to change the shapes, potentially. Actually reminded me some of Adele's clothing. Ooh, maybe Adele would be a good reference point then. Let's see. Oh, so yeah, Adele does wear a lot of dark colors, it seems like. Wow, she almost exclusively wears black. I guess a lot of her music is like mourning adjacent. Not mournings in time of day, but mourning as in sad. But yeah, consider we're vintage fashion. Okay, sure, you can do that. But it seems like Adele might be a good reference if you're going for something modern, where she does wear predominantly all black. But man, Adele plays with shape a lot in her clothing. Let me copy a couple of these in. So like, for as much as the color isn't adding a lot of interest, look at this neckline. Look at the sheer fabric. Look at how this neckline is adding to her silhouette. The sequins add texture. Like, you could do things like this to add interest to something that's gonna be all black. And yeah, you can still take vintage points for like fashion inspiration, yes. But if you're trying to read more modern, Adele might be a good reference point. Some of her stuff is also not fully black, but like, where is it? Look at like the sleeves on this. I could definitely see sleeves that are bird-like in this like really stiff, ruffled, or not ruffled, what's the word I'm looking for? I guess they're kind of ruffles. Ruched? Kind of pattern work. She likes a nice deep V, which a V shape with a bird might make sense because it could feel like a reference to a beak maybe, but look at these. Yeah, they're so stark. Yeah, the contrast adds to their silhouette. It's good. So there may be some good references to find if you just look into Adele's fashion. Because Adele, I do think, is sitting in a place where some of her clothing is, you know, appealing in that sense. The sense that somebody who is, you know, maybe trying to entice their visitors would be. Because I think that was what I read. Hang on. Is that correct? Irresistible, iridescent. I think Adele would be a good point. Big earrings that feel like they are more like talk pieces. These earrings I feel like are a little bit understated for a star. Also, the cage is interesting. I wonder if there's a way we could integrate a cage a little bit more. Not getting iridescent. I think the iridescence is just because it's not rendered yet. It's not rendered, so there's no iridescence yet. But I'd imagine that would add to it significantly. That's an ugly dress. I disagree. I think it's fantastic. Yeah, unique patterns, colors. Choose a bird for the harpy. That's true, but I'm gonna guess that the bird is Raven. The bird is chosen. Ravens are sort of just dark and iridescent, though. Yeah, I know you're talking about Adele's. Let me look at ravens. No, I don't want Raven from Teen Titans. Why is that half the search results? Ravens don't really offer a lot as far as shapes go. If I want to do a very retro, I'd say birdcage, veil, and gold. Yeah, I was like, as I'm thinking about this, I feel like there could be a much more retro angle to this. Not that you can watch me do it. where you could have like a birdcage like hoop skirt underneath the robe, or yeah, like a veil or some sort of headpiece that feels like a cage. Someone said a dress is ugly. Uh-oh, Ryuku's gonna get you! Someone's gonna get you! Not this dress. They weren't talking about this one. They were talking about the one that Adele was wearing, but I still disagree. Would silver work better? My friend isn't really a gold person. I mean, silver can be okay, but gold we tend to associate with like luxury and like the abundance that we tend to associate with people who are famous singers, potentially. So like for implications of the metal, gold might make more sense, but if she is somebody who is not really willing to wear gold, silver can be fine. We just need these things to feel maybe a little bit more ornate. Because I think Adele was wearing just silver in the examples I saw. She doesn't seem like she wears much gold, but this feels much more industrial. Whoops, get me out of the way. Get out of the way, Eej. This feels more industrial. It doesn't feel very ornate or like sort of like elegant. It needs to be a little bit more elegant. Silver's cooler and reads more stern, less royalty and more fey. Yeah, that's true. It depends on how you want to use it. So I think that this feels very industrial right now because it's geometric. It's sort of simple arcs that all start and end at the same width, and then we have 3 little parallel rings beneath it. So I would design up the earrings a little bit more, maybe, so that they feel a little bit more elegant. Maybe inset some stones in them. See if you can find, are there like cage earrings? It's a thing that exists, because you could see how they handle them. I'm wondering if like delicacy. Ooh, 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 wait, cage earrings in the sense that you could have earrings that hold something. You could have an earring that dangles and has like a little, like stone or something that like hangs within it. What is is that what they're called? Are they called cage earrings? There's earrings that are made for elf ears, etc. Yeah, long chain earrings with little cages. But like, there's, I guess that would be what you call it, but like, the earrings that are like, I think usually they're kind of shaped like this, and they like go like that, and then there's like the one in the back. But then inside of them, they hold like some sort of gemstone or something. That could be very nice. That could be very interesting. Then we're alluding to a cage as well. We don't have to be as direct about the cage, potentially. We can mix metals also. Reference to cage earrings. Is that what they're called? Is that all they're called? It's just where they hold a little stone inside of them. Yeah. Put in live suggestions. Put one thank you, Rex. Let me see. Is that what they're just called? I guess I could have just Googled it. Whoa! Ooh! Wait, yeah, these are properly ornate. Look at that! Look how ornate these are. These are kind of beautiful too. They're nice and chunky. All the stones everywhere make them feel like they're for somebody who truly has some cash. Too. That could be a sick opportunity for some exaggeration too. But like you could use like a necklace or like a smaller earring that is the other form that I was doing. That's a bird cage with a capital B. Yeah, bird cage. Those would tear my ears. Me too, probably. I ain't got no earlobes. But yeah, something like this could feel so much more specific. And then the bird cage is bigger, so it's a bigger part of the design. Oh, and it's more ornate. And we're getting a little bit of gold in, but we don't have to have a ton if your friend is not super into gold. We can make it predominantly silver, but just a little gold. Someone who produces earrings shaped like lanterns and so on, they're gothic style as well. Could be good inspo. Yeah. Yeah. There's definitely some good options here. But I do think a more specific choice for the earrings might be nice. This is sort of clever the way you're using a bird cage to contain the tip of the ear, but I'm just not sure it matches the type of aesthetic read we might want for somebody who is irresistible, iridescent, somebody who's potentially an elegant theater performer and owner. This fella's got some cash if they own and perform in their theater, I would imagine. So we gotta make that maybe a little bit clearer, potentially. Oh, and that might reduce the need to put something on top of the head, although we may still want something. But yeah, find a specific dress to reference for underneath this. I do feel like if you were to extend this fluff down to the waist and around the trim, that might be a nice touch too. That might also help separate some of the edges a little bit. So now it feels like this is a feather trimmed robe, perhaps? Although it doesn't have to go all the way around. But that might just be nice, because that will also clarify that it is a robe, but it is a very luxurious robe. It is a fancy robe. And I think this is something I had said to Amber before too, which is that we can play with material. I'm gonna guess since you're going for iridescent that you're already thinking about fabric choices for the robe. If this is a silk robe, as opposed to being like a cloth robe, that will feel all the more luxurious and fancy for somebody who is owning and running a theater and who is a star in their own right. So I think that might be a good consideration to make as well, is what materiality we're using, what material choices we use. Textures, because we don't have to do a lot with the surface. We don't have to super design up the physical like edges of things. We don't have to add a ton more detail. But if you just add like a subtle texture, that can be enough sometimes. We've said before, clothing needs to be interesting through its shape, its color, or its texture often. You don't have to have all of them, but you need at least one of them. So this is adding texture interest, adding material, but add a texture interest as well. Set a bird that looks like a robed lady in life suggestions. Robed? Yeah, no, robed is the word. I think that's the word you're looking for. Oh, this pigeon! I think, is this the pigeon that Zany designed a character based on? Actually, wait, no, I think that was something else. That was a ptarmigan, I think. This is an interesting bird. This might be an interesting suggestion. If you want to stick with black iridescence, then you could have some like light accessories on top of the head and the tail, and then maybe like red shoes. As long as we keep the red shoes minimal, that could be a fantastic bird. And then you could even like jazz up the fur that's around this area even more, or the feathers to represent that. And maybe as a result of that, you get like white hair accessories, even just like fully white hair perhaps, because that may make the head stand out even more, even if just like the ends of the feathers turn white. The twice divorced pigeon. Ah, the widowed pigeon even too, yeah. I just need to do a pigeon theme instead of corvid. Yeah. Also, there's something that could be interesting about the fact that a pigeon is the one who is all decadent and fancy, where we tend to associate pigeons with being like, I say we, not me, but just like generally the populace associates pigeons with being, the little dirty things that hang out in the city and steal our food and eat dirt off the ground and meh, 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 meh. I think the noble pigeon should be treated with more respect. And I think this might be an interesting path to make the pigeon treated with more respect. I love pigeons. I think they're so cute. One of my favorite TikToks ever is the person who does daily pigeon alignment. They just go pick up their pigeon and rotate it while a pigeon noise is playing. I love it. I love it so much. When I have a bad day, I always watch that. Yeah. But yeah, pigeons could be a good option if you are looking for something that is still going to have some dark iridescent feathers, but then we can have something more interesting or more specific going on with the feathers too. Yeah. Yeah. Opportunities for exaggeration. Not a sentence I thought I'd hear today. What? Pigeon calibration? Pigeons are good. Pigeons seem full of themselves, perfect for a celebrity. Hey, pigeons deserve it. We created them. We bred them to be the way that they are, and it's our fault. And it's so rude of us. Yeah, they're clean. We just abandoned them. It'd be like if you saw like dogs or cats roaming the streets. It's not their fault. We created them. It's our fault that they're there. We disowned them. It was so terrible of us. How could we? But yeah, anyways. Crywool, thank you for following. I appreciate it. And Protopixel, welcome back. I hope you've enjoyed your rotation, and I hope you enjoy your continued rotation. The mega widowed pigeon is called a Jacobin pigeon? Interesting. Tragic backstory inspo even? Yeah, if you want that for this character. A suffering star. Where are all my edits? Did I do them all in one layer like a fool? Why is this down here? What am I doing? Oh, okay, there we go. What is this? Oh, that's what that is. I see. Yeah. But yeah, maybe considering a pigeon could be nice. To add a little bit more specific details to it, because it is kind of tough that ravens are mostly one color. Having the iridescence could help, but I think we need a little bit more. As far as silhouette goes, the asymmetry of the hair is quite lovely. The fact that the eyelashes are reaching the silhouette too is very nice. The clothing isn't adding as much to silhouette as it could, but that's why I sort of added a little bit more trim down here to jazz things up a bit more. If I turn this stuff off, I think you were transparent. Uh-oh. Hang on. There. Yeah, I would say not a bad silhouette. Adding a little bit more onto the trim will help to make the whatchamacallit, the robe more distinct in silhouette, also exaggerating it a little bit more in this area. If you added those big, crazy cage earrings too, that would add even more to your silhouette. But like, this is a very nice moment. This is a nice moment for the silhouette. The fact that we can see the toes at the bottom and we can tell they're not human feet is also decent. So there's things working in the right direction. I just think we need more exaggeration in a couple of places. For focal point, your head is focal, but that's because everything else is pretty much one color. So the skin is what makes the head focal. Doing this does distribute the focus a little bit more throughout, but the head does still remain focal. I'm wondering if we could add a little bit more color shift to your eyes too. The eyes are a little bit, they're very brown. I wonder if we could make them just a little bit more orange in some places, unless you want them to be brown, unless they're supposed to be brown. But like, these parts, you can leave that brown. But this may just be a little bit more interesting if you do something like this in the corners. And then if you're going to be using like those blues and greens and stuff throughout, you could even use that as the color for some of the highlights in the eye. The highlights don't have to all be white. You can make them blue or green or something else, and that often makes things feel interesting. You can add some depth. You could also add asymmetrical highlights too, because the eye highlights are very symmetrical right now. And that might be cute. Bert from Sesame Street loves pigeons, and I love Bert from Sesame Street. I love Bert and Ernie. They're good fellas. Pigeon that's trying to pass as a corvid. Maybe. Perhaps. That could work. That might be an interesting angle for concept, maybe. That timebird lady from House of Strange Kids? I don't know that one. I'm unfamiliar. Sesame Street mention? Yeah. Yeah, Sesame Street mention. But yeah, I think that is the bulk of the things that I have for those categories. So hang on, let me start putting things down because I forgot where I got to already. So, silhouette. You've got some nice asymmetrical moments. I think we need to push your exaggeration a little bit more, but I do appreciate the asymmetry. I appreciate the hair and how much that's adding to silhouette. Just add a little more fluff maybe, perhaps. For complexity versus clarity, I think you need a more specific design for something like a layer of clothing being worn underneath, for the earrings. I feel like they're just not serving the design as much as they could. So I'm not saying you need to add more things inherently. You just need to make the things that are already present more specific. Ooh, I'm seeing also designs for earrings that look like bird claws too. So like you have these three little things here. I actually have earrings like this. Oh, how do they work? It's like, actually I can just look at them, I guess. Hang on. I literally have my earring stand like right here. Hang on, I'm holding it. I'm holding the earring. Instead of having them, whoops, like this, where they're all equidistant, if you go like this and tilt them and then like give them like a little sharp bit here, I have a pair of earrings that like wraps around your ear like a bird's claw, like grabs something. So if you still want to have something that feels like little rings higher on the ear, you could do that also. And that would just be a more specific interpretation of those little rings that were placed there. Example of feather details and live suggestions be more distinct than just fluffiness. Yeah, this was just my sort of general add to shape, but you could just make them feathers also. Ooh, yeah. Oh my gosh. Lace feathers. That's wild. That would be so fancy, so decadent. But yeah, like a lace feather, more shapes in them. I'm just giving a general idea. Earring shaped like a bird, like holding a gem sphere is classic. Ooh, that's also true. That's also true. There's a lot of ideas for earrings, perhaps. But yeah, we can make the earrings just maybe a little bit more specific to the design. Live suggestions seem to be chock full of options for you. As I come back here. The focal point is the face, without a shadow of a doubt. So that's working quite well. For concept and motifs, I think us ending up in the land of, oh, what if a pigeon? What if this? Writing backstory, doing things like that, is us wishing there was maybe a little bit more depth to the concept, or just trying to find like a more unique angle for it, maybe. The crow does seem to be a little bit hard to work with because its specific species is not giving us a lot other than iridescence, whereas the pigeon gives us more. And then we can also, you know, through the layering of the clothing, clarify that this is somebody who's a star, who is just hanging out backstage as opposed to somebody in loungewear. So I think we can just push the concept a little bit further in general. For color palette, I think we're missing a lot of the color palette right now, and it's just because it's not rendered. So I'm erring on the side of, I'm assuming the blues and greens are going to be more or less everywhere, adding some visual interest. in the iridescence. We just can't see it right now because you just didn't do that part yet, which is totally fine. This is in the sketch phase, or this is in like the flat colors phase. That's okay. The only thing I would still caution you about is just make sure there's enough clarity between edges of objects. Whoops, hang on. Because there's just a lot of values that are very similar throughout the design. Give them just a little bit more difference. Even if that difference is, okay, this part is more blue in undertone. Because right now I think it's actually technically red in undertone. Give it a little bit of blue undertone, maybe. Color. There we go. Like, cool some parts off, warm some parts up, and then also just be careful with your values. I'm sure with rendering you can make some edges a little bit clearer. But... oh, wait, hang on. I didn't do this correctly. I have to do it like this. Let's be really extreme. Hang on. Turn that, like, way down. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Yeah. Thank you for jumping. Think in any animal-based design, going for a specific breed of that animal makes designing easier. It does, and there was a specific animal here. Oh, it was raven, sorry. I keep saying crow. But the specific animal here was a crow. But the crow didn't really give us all that much to work with, so I think that's why we were yearning for something that gave us more. But yeah, blue undertone for something. Maybe the hair gets a warm undertone in comparison. Potentially. Or all the opposite. But... all in all, I would say the grade here is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 out of 10. Not bad, not bad. Oh, we're in an ad break while I'm doing the grading. Ah! No, the star disappeared. Do you guys want a star again? I can give you the star if you would like to jump for star. Oh! Someone got launched into the star. Here, I'll give you a couple stars. Starfall! It's a meteor shower! Ah! There we go. Okay, hang on. Move this back down. Anyways, I'm glad you guys are all winning a little bit of cash. Yeah, reach for the stars, Shroomates. Can we get a round of applause for Vix Enfield's design for Iracorva, please? Pretty please. I know we're busy playing catch, but we can... priorities. Jump and catch after applause. Use hands. Yep, there we go. That's what I want to see. Thank you. Bomb worked well. Yeah, the bomb did kind of work. It did distribute many a star to many fellas. But yeah, thank you for submitting, Vix. Vixenfield? Do I call you Vixen? What part of your name do I call you? I call you your whole name, but I feel like we don't have to. Thanks so much for the feedback. It was very helpful. I'm glad. Congrats on saving. And thank you all for also for submitting. Vix is good. Okay, bet. Noted. But yeah, I'll be excited to see how this turns out. Good luck in your designing. I'm gonna save this. Also, I keep forgetting that I should probably post the skip the line critiques somewhere in the Discord server so you guys can have easier access to my edits if you would like. Man, I'm the juggling master. Actually, I'm not the juggling master. They're adding new balls as I'm trying to juggle and I'm trying to keep up, but I'm constantly dropping balls and having to remember to pick them back up. And then because I bent down to pick one ball up, another ball drops. Is that what they mean by saying that you drop the ball? I guess that could just be a general sports analogy. But I'm dropping balls left and right. I just keep forgetting about things. I have so many things I need to take care of. I'll try and remember that one, though. A few more sips of coffee, I'll become immune to key jingling. What does that mean? No one's immune to key jingling. I will make us all focus. You legally have to. This is Kaneko. Did Kaneko answer our question about pronunciation for pronouns? I was just curious. It seemed like a lot of us were unsure and we're just making best guesses. Hi, Kaneko. Are you here? At least they're not glass balls. That's true. I can always pick them up and try again. Dropping glass balls would not be good. Zize. Oh, okay. Interesting. Noted. I want to pronounce them Chi-Chem because I'm used to pronouncing X as a CH sound a lot of the time. But noted. Thank you. Hello. Hi. This is Kaneko Bunny. Them/she/her at Kaneko Bunny bluesky.social. This is the new version of my self-sona with the color tone to actually match what my laptop showed when I designed it. The jacket, pants, and hat are actually slightly modified versions of pieces from my own wardrobe. I do want to do a variety of streams, but with a focus on hand cam streams for practicing or learning new handcrafts like jewelry making and metalsmithing. Ooh, metalsmithing! Embroidery and wood burning. So I'd like advice on how to bring more of the handcraft elements into the design. Ah, I see. Okay. This is like the, I think, second or third time we've looked at Kaniko's design on stream. I can't remember quite what the number is, but we've seen Kaniko before. And Kaniko is a 3D model. We can see, this is the back. I see. Yeah, metalsmithing is sick. Metalsmithing is cool. When in doubt, cool tool belt. True. Patches or embroidery on the pants, perhaps. I think your character is already dressed like an art student to me. So it would not surprise me that you do those kinds of things. Although if you really want to, you may want to show the impact of those, like, skills you're attempting on your clothing. So like if you're wood burning, you could have a little bit of burning around the edges. If you're doing metal smithing, maybe you're wearing some accessories that are metallic or are clearly things that you made for yourself. So they may be a little bit imperfect. Yeah, for woodworking, maybe a little bit of sawdust or something. Embroidery. Is there any embroidered aspect of your clothing? You can just incorporate those mediums into the way that the clothing is made. I will say, I think you are currently, unfortunately, suffering a little bit at the hands of texture resolution in Vroid, because everything's just like a little bit blurry around the edges because you're exaggerating so much with your shapes, which I love the exaggeration of the shapes. That should be said. But unfortunately, Vroid's textures like really don't play nicely with that. So it's kind of tough, but I will tell you a secret. I'll tell you a secret. If you take this design out of Unity, or not out of Unity, out of Vroid, and put it in Unity using VRM importer, you can use higher resolution textures on a Vroid model in a VRM. It's just that Vroid only exports textures as, what is it? 2048, I think? Maximum 2K? You can up your texture sizes to 4K for a VTuber model. Yeah. Your textures very well, because I can't tell this is Vroid. That's true. This is very distinctly a different style. Yeah, 4096. Yeah, you could increase the texture resolution to 4096, 4K, if you wanted to. So that way you wouldn't have to handle the fact that like, oh, we got some stretching here. Some of these details are a little bit soft and blurred. You get more crisp lines, potentially. I do the optimized 2 skins. What do you mean optimized 2 skins? Optimized 2 skins? I don't know what that means. I will say I've used Vroid a good bit, but there's a lot of stuff that is modern Vroid that I'm not as familiar with, potentially, if that's what you're referencing. Do you mean the skin, the bodysuit texture is what you're using for that? Question mark? I don't know. Optimized. Oh. Hi, Incinda. Vroid is super useful, I do agree. Right now they kind of look like a Z? Wait, hang on, I forgot already. I have to like say it 80 times. Zizay, yeah. Zizay. I practice in the mirror when I have to figure out people's pronouns a lot of the time, so that I just repeat it as a habit. They kind of look like a PS2 character, not necessarily a bad thing if that's what they're going for. That's true. I could see that, if that is what you're aiming for. Hi, Remedy, thank you. I appreciate it. I've made it around the sun another time. I am now older, but I'm still not old. I'm a young shroom. I'm a young shroom of not quite 30. Not quite, not yet. One day. Not yet. It hasn't caught me yet. 3-0, future. Is that Zem or Ze? Oh, wait, hang on. This is Zem. This is Zay. Yes. Yeah. XEM is Zem. XE is Zay, because we're pronouncing the E as an A almost. We're figuring out pronunciations of things. Wahoo. So that is a question. Are you intending to be PS2 adjacent in your texturing? Because I do agree that the sort of softer textures do feel a little bit PlayStation 2-esque. Vroid export for VRM allows you to limit number of textures by atlasing them. Oh, I see. So that is a good way to optimize, but I think unfortunately you could benefit from just having more. I'm gonna tell you a secret. Come here, I'm gonna tell you a secret. You can texture atlas stuff. You can put a couple of your smaller things all in one atlas. Things that don't need to be super big or high resolution. So like for Vroid, stick your eyebrows and your eye line and if you have a separate like lip texture or separate mouth texture, those things go on a texture atlas. Those things can get texture atlased. They're gonna be somewhat small and they're not gonna be very big, so they can be at a distance. If you end up having like less than like 10 materials total, you will be okay. It will not be a major performance hog. So if you give yourself a separate texture for the jacket versus pants versus shoes versus shirt, might be better. Do it right now because I'm used to VR chat optimizing. Ah, for VTubing, you don't have to optimize quite that much. But even for VR chat, I think, what is it? 3 materials is what they want you to have, right? 3? And I think that's just for having, like, getting a good rating. I can't remember what they are off the top of my head because the only stuff I make for VR chat is my voxel models, which have one single texture that's, like, microscopically small. But yeah, if for VTubing purposes, you may just want to have a bigger texture, but I swear people use higher resolution textures in VR chat still sometimes too. Although a lot of it might just be that they're not texturing. They're using the edges of faces and solid coloring stuff, which could be what it is, maybe. But okay, just a thing to keep in mind about it, because I think we are losing some of the detail. But I do see you've got embroidered details on your hat, you've got embroidered details on your pants and on your bag. It may be even better if you were to embroider some more details in here, where like you've got your eye design. What if you have, whoops, hang on. Your eye repeated in embroidery here. I'm not going to do a great job of making an eyeball right now out of embroidery. But then we can see, oh, here's your like practice at doing this. Do you have high resolution? Some of them do. I don't quite know what the requirements are though. I'm going to guess that Kaneko probably knows more about it than I do if Kaneko is uploading stuff or has uploaded stuff before. But like maybe here's your thing here, and oh, maybe this brighter pink is underneath it, and oh, there's a blue also that happens somewhere. Embroidered design on the hat, so then we feel that specific reference. If you are doing your metalworking, maybe you're wearing some sort of like choker or something that looks like it was handmade. You know how people do like wire wrapping or something like that? That could feel handmade. But that might be a good accessory to just hint that that is something you do. Pick like a silver color. Because I also don't want to have something that overlaps your shirt. We're trying to use things in separate areas, but like if you had like, oh, here's my choker necklace that has like a little like wire wrapped stone or something. What those face shields or welder's gloves? Could do that. Slightly singed hair could also do. I feel like the face shields or welder's gloves would take you too far out of casual, where you feel like a relaxed art student right now. If we added those things, you may feel too much like you were a machinist. Or like you are somebody who's doing like mechanic work maybe. Slightly singed hair could be an option. Your sleeves are really long and definitely an OSHA violation for any studio. I love the exaggeration of them, but they would probably be a little bit unwieldy in many situations. So if we could see that like, all right, your sleeve is getting like, just like a little bit destroyed by the fact that it's super long. That might be nice. We're like, okay, here's like a little bit of string or something we can see that's hanging down. I have a feeling this is probably the edge of the texture, so you may have to do this with some other... by some other means, maybe. But it could just be interesting if we see a little bit of the wear and tear, the result. Zipper sleeves! Oh my god, that's an idea. Zipper sleeves so that you could like... Wait, they are zipper sleeves! They do unzip! But they unzip halfway down the arm, so you're unzipping them... Hang on, what is the... Or is this just the... Oh wait, no, that might just be the pull tie? For the top? Or is this a zipper? I can't quite tell. I'm not certain. But it could be a zipper. If you made them have a zipper that runs up the arm, so then you could like tie them behind your back to keep them out of the way, that could be interesting. As a sewing person, potentially random scraps of fabric used as hair ribbon. Yeah! Real one has paint stains all around the cuffs. Yeah! Paint stains around the cuffs would be good. Some wear and tear would probably be good. But I think those things would be enough. The way you're dressed already alludes to me that you're an art student. I have no issue with that. I can tell. The big pants, the jacket, the graphic tee, the side bag. You look like my students. So the fact that you're tinkering with a lot of different mediums makes sense to me. I can see it. I would see that making sense and working out. Honestly, maybe if you do the embroidery on top of your head, you could do more of it on the bag too. Where like, oh, here's, your eye again or something. But like, just more specific details, I guess, throughout the body. Because your icon that you have on your chest is really specific, but it feels like we could use a little bit more of that elsewhere. Patchwork pieces of clothing if you do that. Maybe. Also, yes. Potentially. Unwelded. I see. Hee 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 ha ha ha. I'm curious as to how you made these pockets in Vroid. Do they have pants that have pockets on them like that now? That's pretty crazy to me. I've never seen that before in Vroid, unless you edited this in Blender, which, if that's the case, good work. It does add a nice definition to the silhouette, which is very useful here in this case. It's making the pant silhouette much more specific. Let me drop the silhouette checker on you here, though. What? And can you go vanishes into the night? Your hat stands out in your silhouette, your sleeves stand out in your silhouette, the bagginess of your pants stand out. Pulled, extruded that in Blender. I see, good work. A little bit of Blender editing really goes a long way sometimes, I would say. And it's going a long way here to helping too. Your pants are a much more specific shape now than they would be without it. I feel like I almost wish your shoes were chunkier to match, to add just a little bit more weight, because your pants are so big down here. I almost wish that your shoes were just scaled up a bit. I have to do them separately so I don't move where they're located, but like that. So that way we're getting sort of like repetition of weight in the lower body. Waha. Oh, it's overlapping. Hang on, don't overlap them. There we go. Because that feels a little bit more grounded. Your feet felt like a little bit oddly delicate the way they were. For how chunky and oversized the rest of the design is, perhaps. But yeah, okay, so I see that. Hang on, what have I talked about already? So, silhouette. I think that you've made some good moves to make your silhouette more distinct, especially more distinct than it used to be. So I think that's helping you right now. Your jacket also is posed asymmetrically, which I feel like we may have suggested, but I can't remember. But I think that is helping to break things up a little bit more too. So I'll probably put you like, well, maybe here. I feel like we could use just like a negative space somewhere. Whoops, hang on, sorry. I've done something funny with you. No, hang on, come back down here. Come here. There you go, where are we fighting? Like, I feel like we could use more exaggeration in some of this stuff. Like, this feels like hair that's pulled up. And it feels like it's just like a little bit too parallel. It might be a little bit more engaging if it wasn't so parallel. And then similarly with the hair modeling, it's all really tight to your head. We could use like one or two pieces that just like sort of just break away from how sleek and tight it is to your head. And I know your ears are probably Vroid hair, but if they were just like a little bit fluffy, I feel like that would add so much to this. Because I will say the thing that we're always trying to combat with 3D models is the outer edge read of the silhouette. Models feel like they are much more fleshed out in 3D when they have a lot more variation in their outer edges. So the specificity you're adding with the pockets is helping a lot. If we add like little cuts and bits into your sleeves, that will also help a lot. Adding just like a couple little bits of fluff to your ears and just a little bit more motion in your hair. Whoops, I'm drawing this on a layer that is not the right layer, but that's okay. Wrong layer, Kronk. But that could go a long way. Ears are actually Blender. So then there's absolutely no reason to not do a whole little wee 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 on the side of them. Give them a little triangles. Give them a couple little triangles. Just give them a little bit. Just a little bit. A little can go a long way sometimes. I really like this one looping hair I've added. I feel like that is doing a lot also to just give your head a little bit more of a natural feeling. Because right now it's just maybe a tad stiff. And we can solve that pretty quickly with just like one or two more pieces of hair, maybe. What about editing the model in Blockbench? Oh, I mean, I guess you could, but I don't think Blockbench is meant to handle something that's like mid-poly, because that's what Vroid is considered mid-poly, I think. It's not high poly. It's not quite that high. It's mid-poly, I would say. But maybe. I don't know. Patches on the pants, embroidered parts. Yep. I agree. But yeah, I think your silhouette just needs a little bit more of like those little natural touches. So you're almost all the way there. I'm here for it. I feel like there could be a way we can make this bag sit more naturally because it's a little bit unnatural right now. And I'm feeling it's because it's trying to wrap over your topology, but you can kind of just make it stand out off the edge of your body if you're editing in Blender. I wonder if it's also like this because of rigging, but It just is like a little bit unnatural, and it's distracting because it's a little bit unnatural the way that it is. And then similarly, if these are pool ties, are these attached? Are they free floating? I can't tell if they're textured on right now or not. They might not be. It might be their own separate objects. If they're not, just duplicate a mesh and move it out off the body, and then just remove the stuff around it. Alpha it out. I think it moved with the arm. Oh, this? Oh, it rotated down with the arm. So what that means is that it should be rigged more to your shoulder bone than it should be to your upper arm bone. That's a rigging thing then to be careful of. I don't know how much re-rigging you do in the models since you are working with Blender, but it would be worthwhile to do that just so that it feels a little bit more natural. It's just a little bit distracting, the way that it is. But yeah, I think that's fine. For complexity versus clarity, your details feel somewhat specific. I think some of the embroidery would help them to feel as specific as they need to. Your head is focal because your eyes have the highest contrast out of anything in the design. If I were to slurp up all your saturation, level correction, nope, hang on. Layer, new correction, no, layer, new correction, layer. There we go. Wah! You have a greater variety of values than I think you used to, but do you see how there's so much more contrast in your eyes? The darkest part of the design is in your eyes, and the lightest part of the design is also in your lines. For consistency's sake, you may want to use a line art color throughout the rest of the design that matches your eyes, because they feel just a little bit tonally out of place. Yeah, the pale colors do blend together a little bit. They've got more distinction than they used to. But you may want to either make that line art color appear more throughout, or if you're going for a totally lineless look, you may just want to push some of the dark elements to be this value, and push some of the light elements to also be the lighter value. So like if I come down like this, normal, multiply, and I don't have to make it quite as dark, just make them sort of like approach that value a little bit more. That might help to make the eyes just feel a little bit more united. But the eyes right now are making the head somewhat focal. I do feel like you could saturate your hair a little bit more too. A lot of the design is somewhat desaturated, and maybe this is just because you were trying to edit it to appear the way it appears on your monitor. I know we had some trouble with things on my monitor versus your monitor, or for others, just like in general. We have some troubles with colors not matching. Hell, I was having that problem literally this weekend. My clown girls look so different on my monitor than they do on my phone. And I have a color calibrator for my computer too. So I can't tell what is off, if it's my computer that's off or if it's my phone that's off. I have a feeling it might actually be my phone that's off. But yeah, everything that I drew was like way more cool undertoned on my computer. And I actually was kind of mad when I posted my clown because she was so much more warm. And I have this like knee-jerk reaction now when I see something that has like a subtle yellow cast over it, where I'm like, AI. And I'm like, it's not. I drew it. It's me. It's me. Don't set the alarm off. You did it. It's you. But I was like, I don't like it. I just dislike. Anyways, I'm sort of tangenting here. That's not related. But do you see how this makes these things pop a little bit more? It's adding some clarity. I feel like we could also darken in these things too here, so that they're maybe the same value as your pants are. The colors might not look very nice once I bring them back, because this is just a black layer. Although actually that's not too bad. Do you see how that's providing just a little bit more unity? It makes some of these elements just feel a bit more grounded too. Now it feels like the pants are an off black, and there's things that are darker. AI imposter syndrome? Yeah! I was giving myself AI imposter syndrome. It makes us paranoid about everything, including ourselves, which is terrible. I hate AI jump scaring myself on my own work. Which is not, it's happened before. If I draw something and I'm like, this looks a little bit weird, I'm like, someone's gonna AI investigate me over this. I draw a background that looks like even slightly funky because I did something that is just like, trying to reference detail without being detailed. I'm like, they're gonna think I'm doing AI, they're gonna think I'm using it. Ah! How do you color correct? Well, for a computer monitor, I think there's programs you can use, but honestly, the only way that like truly works is having a color calibrator for your monitor. Mac monitors are color calibrated when they leave the factory, but they can drift over time, unfortunately. But at least they start out being color accurate. monitors that are non-Mac monitors, non-Apple, are all over the place. I have a color calibrator that I use. I got this as a gift when I was in high school, I think. And they're not affordable, I don't think. I have a Spider 5 Pro. It actually is right here. My computer's been yelling at me to recalibrate, so I should listen to it. But I think they're kind of expensive. I don't think they're very affordable, these things, these days. Let me just do a quick Google search. Let's see. Yeah, from Data Color. Let's see how much they go for now. Ooh, that's definitely not how much I paid for it when I got it. Holy hell, that's almost a $300 object. That costs as much as my drawing tablet cost. That's crazy. What? That's wild. 2 different monitors, they show colors differently. One's better though. Yeah, a lot of the time you will have one that's more accurate than the other is, but you gotta be kidding me. Do they have any more options that aren't as expensive? Oh, they have one that's $100. Data Color Spider Express is $119, which isn't terrible, but like, that's crazy that they're so expensive. It's tough. It's one of those investments you may have to make if you are a serious digital artist. Otherwise, you just have to do the thing where you make it on your computer, test it on your phone, test it on another monitor, and just test it in a couple places if you can, just to try and narrow it down. If you can. But yeah, having a couple more elements that are darker in this might be nice. And then I may also suggest increasing the saturation of your hair, just to truly make your head focal. So let me get a color, or no, a saturation layer. I use something that's like full saturation. Proto-cowboy! Thank you for following. You exist before cowboys. You predate the cowboys. Kaneko, I think you were way more saturated last time I saw you, but I think that may be because your calibration wasn't quite right. But I feel like some of that saturation I'd associated with your hair, I kind of miss it a little bit. Even if you don't saturate everything back up, and you only saturate your hair back up, I think that may be nice. Bam. And like the outer edge of your ears, perhaps. There we go. See how that makes your head pop a bit more? Yeah. The fuzzy textures from the low res is actually part of the problem there. The stitches between the color blocks is supposed to be the dark desaturated purple. Dark desaturated purple. Do you mean this one? Oh, is it because it's stretching real bad? So like this color is supposed to be here? Hang on. Like this is supposed to be what this color is here, perhaps? If you're having so much trouble with stuff stretching, you may be better off just re-unwrapping stuff in Blender, because I can tell that the way this was modeled, it wasn't unwrapped in a way that is supporting the textures right now. It's unwrapped potentially in some default state that just doesn't make it read very clearly. I like the gradient of the bright around the face, but duller at the edges. We could reduce it. I could make it duller further away from the face. There we go. Oops, hang on. Wrong layer. There we go, where it's not as saturated as we get further out. Maybe like even like the bottom pieces of the hair aren't as saturated. But that just helps make your head pop a bit more. Actually, a prototype cowboy in the distant future. Oh, somebody's inventing cowboys in the future. Did somebody tell them that they already existed? Technically, it can't be a prototype if it was already real. Kind of like the desaturated. I mean, that could be up to you. I was adding the saturation because it makes the head pop a little bit more. But that may be something that could be a matter of opinion, perhaps. But yeah, so generally, the head was focal because of your eyes, which I think is where I was with grading. I'm pushing it to be a little bit more focal. I think with the colors right now, I'm not sure you've zeroed in exactly all the way either. There's still something in this color palette that just doesn't feel quite right to me. And it may just be the desaturation overall, and it may be the fact that we're not really approaching all that dark of values everywhere. It feels a little bit better now that I've darkened this and added more saturation to your hair, but I don't know. Just meant overall. Ah, fair, okay. I see, I see. Shadows can be darkened, help everything pop separate, though that might not fit the look. There is like a gradient shadow on a lot of aspects, but I could do that. I keep feeling it should be on a brighter background. I can stick it on a brighter background, but I'm not sure that's really gonna solve what I'm feeling. So like if I go like this, Now you feel like you're supposed to be on a darker background because you feel like you're very mid-tony. There's not a lot of highlight, though. I don't know. We are only getting 3, aren't we? No! Oh, no! I was really trying to be fast enough that that wouldn't be the case. Uh-oh. Oh, God. 30 minutes, I gotta go to work. Good luck at work, Rex. Get help with dinner. Have a good evening. Enjoy your dinner. Also, but yeah, so I don't know if the color is like fully, whoops, hang on. That's not where I want to put that. I don't know if the color is fully locked in where I think it should be. There's still something with the desaturation that feels like it's desaturated. It doesn't feel like it's intentionally pastel. It feels like there's like a gray cast over everything. And it may be that like the dark elements aren't hue shifting. I guess they are. They're hue shifting a little bit. But there's just something that's making it feel like there's like a gray filter over it. You feel a little bit washed out. I'm gonna do something crazy. I'm gonna do something wild even. And I'm gonna do it to just your base design. I'm gonna do it where I haven't made edits yet. I'll put you back on top. I'm gonna show you a weird little hack that I do if I have a design that feels washed out. If you take your design, duplicate it, and then grab an orange color and put it over top. It's like a full saturation orange. Bam. Turn that orange layer into a brightness layer and clip it to your duplication of your model. Merge it down and then set this new layer that looks like this, which is crazy, to hard light and then reduce it. You can help make things feel less washed out. So like this brings some of the saturation back without me having made any of my other edits. But do you see how that feels like there's just like a little bit more life in it? It's like a weird little trick that pushes some values brighter and more saturated, but not every single value. Although it does tend to wash some elements out a little bit. So like you don't have to include that maybe like on your pants or something. Let me airbrush like this out. So your pants stay a little bit darker and like your hat stays a little bit darker. Whoops, I've switched images. But that might work a little bit better too. And then you can use that to get like your color references from this screenshot and then apply that to the physical textures. Sorry for Henry jump scare. But yeah, I think we just need to do something to the colors right now. You just feel a little bit too washed out. For concept and motifs, I think you're most of the way there. I see that you're a rabbit. I have no issue with telling that you are a student or that you are somebody who is, you know, maybe trying and learning a lot of new things. Your fashion's telling me that. The eye is an interesting motif, and I'm not sure what that's telling me. But I do think you could add a little bit more of those, like, hints towards the fact that you are working with embroidery and woodworking and metalworking and whatever else you are working with, paint and stuff like that. We could use more little bits. Absolutely the trick I've needed. Yeah, I love that trick. I've known this for a while. Twitter discovered this trick somewhat recently. I think there was a Japanese artist who was talking about it, and then everyone was like, wow! But that's what I do. If I ever draw myself and I'm like, I look weird, I need more saturation, I don't look friendly enough, bam! I do that. It's a really good trick. But yeah, I think this is generally where my grade would be here. You got a couple small tweaks left to make, but I think you're most of the way there. So what is this? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.5 out of 10? You're getting there. Your number is significantly increasing over time. It's definitely improving. So congrats! Your hard work is paying off. Edie, did we ladder? No, we did not ladder. I tend to completely forget the ladder if the ladder doesn't feel like something that is jumping out to me as an ish. But we can ladder. I don't think we laddered the last one either, accidentally. But yeah, round of applause, please. Hang on. Well, actually, line's kind of only on this side. Big, nice diagonal movement. Bottom of ears. Bottom of collar. Collar, chin. Your nose is creating a surprising division, as are your eyebrows. This is diagonal. This is on one side. This is on one side. That's on one side. Not a very easy to climb ladder. Probably pants shirt division. Oh wait, you're right. Hang on, I forgot that one. There should be one right there. You've got a little bit of repetition of this size of gap in the pants, but I think that's just because you've evenly spaced out the pockets, which is the way that pants would work. Yeah. Can you do the color trick with exactly FFBB7B? Why? What for? What is that? What is that color? What is that? Let me see. It works best with orange. FFBB7B? Oh, I mean, I guess you could, but why would we use that orange? It works best if you use full saturation, though. It doesn't work as well if you use something that's, like, in between. Looks great. I think I got it right this time. I think you did get it right. I think you got it. I think that's the correct tense, potentially. Looks, it might be plural? But looks would be plural, but yeah, I think you got the grammar right otherwise. But yeah, 7F out of 10, good work! Yes, dangerous ladder for sure. That's the colors of Proxima Centauri. Oh, we're trying to give you the color of a star. How specific. But yeah, good work, Kaniko. I can tell this design has evolved a lot over time, and I'm proud of you for sticking with it. You got this. Just a couple little tweaks left, perhaps. Yeah, classic Enderium moment. Enderium's gonna make us think about science. Science. Speaking of kind of science, I think Amber lives in a very science fiction world. Hi, Amber! Hi, Amber! Hi, Ambrosia, Amber Repletaria. Hello. I've met you before. She, her, at ambrosiarepletaria.bluesky.social. I'm a honeypot ant-like alien supervillainess seeking world domination via giant death lasers and my unending hordes of alien aphids. Fancy name for them still pending. I feel like my design is very solid in showcasing this idea, so this is honestly mostly reassurance that it's good and proper and can get on with finishing the 3D model that this art is a reference for. Also, no, the alien aphids won't be part of the design and don't need to be, and I don't want them to be. Okay, noted. Just a nod to how some species of ants herd aphids. Similarly, the giant death lasers are hopefully implied enough by the ray gun. If you really want more, just imagine this character standing on top of a giant ray gun, cape flapping evilly in the wind as it charges up, and she goads some heroes. To sum up, does the design have aura? Does the design have aura? And is that aura super villainous? Anything to help either of those angles, aura supervillain, would be greatly appreciated. Sincerely, Ambrosia Repletaria, supervillainous extraordinaire. Thanks! Can we get an aura rating out of 10? I wrote this at 1 a in the AM. I see that. I enjoy the silliness of it. Riraku rates you as 11 out of 10 for aura. I would say this is an aura full design. This is aura full. I'm feeling the aura. I feel the aura of the design. I'm seeing it. The green spikes are giving me implications of poison damage, which does make you feel very dangerous. We do associate purples and greens with being villainous, so I don't think we have an issue with that. Your asymmetrical, like, bob hairstyle that we've sort of, like, worked on over time, I think is making you feel properly, aura-ful as well. I don't know how to use that word. It's making you feel like you have proper aura? How do I use that in tense? In a sentence. Aura rating, pretty good. I feel like the dog symbol, the knee, reduces aura. Yeah, I will say, I know this is meant to be an ant's head with antennas, but it does look like a dog. The center thing reads as like a nose almost, and those are reading like ears. I see what you mean. What does an ant head look like? No, it's okay. No Friday, guys. It's okay. Don't worry. Hang on. I think we just need to make the eyes bigger because ants don't have frontal eyes, do they? Or they kind of do, but they kind of wrap around the side. I think this would read less like a dog if... Why is my brush so small? Hang on. I get that they maybe are trying to be more like alien eyes, but I feel like if you made them more alien and bigger, we would not read dog. So like if I make the eyes like this and distance them, that negative space acting as a dog nose is going to be less apparent. Also, ants' antennas come from like the center of their face, so I'm willing to bet when you get to modeling, theoretically, hopefully, these antennas are an object that is going to come down to either, or I guess some of them it comes from their eyebrow, some of them it comes from like nose bridge area. If they like break this shape a little bit and we have them like placed where we can see them, and this is a three-dimensional form where we can see there's an edge there, it'll make it less likely to read dog. I know you're also simplifying it for the sake of modeling, but maybe all you need is just this. Where like ant pinchers usually have just like a little bit of like a squared off bit of them. Can you tell I've Googled the word ant? My aphantasia could never pull up these details without saying it. Weirdly, I see dog more? What? A simplified piece like a skull knee plate, but for an ant. Yeah, it can be simplified, but I just think we can make it a little bit more specific in its shape. And that may be enough to make sure that it isn't reading as dog or something else. I think now it's going to be very particularly, clearly an ant. Yeah, the cutout makes it much more ant-y. Amber, are you an ant? Do you have any nieces or nephews? I feel like that'd be a funny angle of this design, is that you are an ant in the sense that like you have relatives and they just look up to you as being like the distant aunt who is just really cool and brings swords for Christmas. Actually, yes. Hell yeah. You're already perfectly in character. Yeah. Okay. Hell yeah. Perfect. Fantastic. So, as things should be. Okay. So, focal point. Head. You've got the most saturation around your face. You also have a lot more detail higher in the design, which is helping make your face nice and focal. Good work. That works for me. For color design, there is something funny about this silver, but I'm guessing it's just because this is a flat placeholder texture. Is this metallic eventually? What is this material doing? Is it flat gray, or is it metallic eventually, and this is just like the reference color for it? I feel like it'll have more detail. Yes, be metallic. Okay, hell yeah, thank you. Good to know. I'm not trying to flip you off. I'm so sorry. I'm trying to point. Great. Are all of these silver things then metallic? So like this is metallic, the trim is metallic, these are metallic, your face plates are metallic. All of it? Yes? Good. As it should be. Noted. I think having that sort of like crisp highlight and dark tones will help balance it a little bit more, because right now it's just like a flat mid-tone compared to everything else, but that detail will help. Maybe not the trim? Okay, that's fine. The trim, if it isn't, wouldn't be as big of a deal, but I think your leg and your corset and your hip piece and your face pieces do need the contrast that would come from it being a metallic material, just because it's so bright and flat compared to other things. So that's fine. I just wanted to make sure that's accounted for. I hear you, I see you, I got you. Noted. What is going on with your arm over here is just a question I have for you. Oh, I've made it invisible is what's going on. How did I pick the exact color that it is? I'm so sorry. Let me put you in a lighter background. I didn't even realize that was my fault. I was like, where did your arm go? What happened to you in your horrible villain lore? Woo, I clicked on something. What? Okay, there we go. Is this metallic amber? No, no, no. Was that happened last time? Probably. I'll never learn. I will never learn my lesson. But there is still something happening with your arm. Is this like a curse? What is going on with the arm on this side? I'm intrigued. It feels like your arm is like falling apart. Magic invisible arm. Powered. Oh, okay. Is it like these are like wires that are powering your arms? A powered armor piece. Oh wait, is it armor then? Those mechanical wired arm. Yeah, I could see this being like a wired arm piece. Hence the big alien battery and the synthetic muscles. Alien battery and synthetic battery. Battery. Oh, I see. Okay. I see. If these are wires that are transmitting power along limbs. Sorry, I was looking at this and my brain was not understanding that as a power source. I was understanding that as being a light bulb. Which is a thing that does indicate power flowing through something, because I know Tesla coils also are a thing that has to do with power. I wonder if it's just gonna be a material thing where if this has any amount of glow to it, I'll understand that as being power, as opposed to being just like a light bulb with a detail on it. But if these wires are not something that is embedded into the surface of this, it might just be good to have one of them that just like breaks the edge. Where am I? Why is my layer under everything? Hang on. If you just have like one that breaks that outer edge, that might be nice. For silhouette reasons, and for the fact that like it's being affected by gravity, potentially. Ooh, what is happening? Why is my brush not listening to me? Yeah. You know, I think I had one at one point and accidentally got rid of it while redoing it. Bring it back. Bring it back. Because I think that will help to clarify that these are wires also. Because I wasn't quite sure if that's what they were. Wires aren't usually necessarily flush. And then if you have, like, a plate line in the arm in there somewhere, or something else that distinguishes this as being, like, whatever material this is, I think that will help too. I think there's just some specifics that need clarified in this area right now. Ooh, cover this. Are the negative space bits in it intentional also as being wires too? Or, like, references to, like, fibrous muscle, maybe? Is what I guess they are, because right now it feels like they may be sketch parts that just were missed when you were filling a color in. You may need to just, like, exaggerate them a little bit more. I'm sure they won't feel like a sketch when you're doing 3D, but just give them a little bit more negative space maybe in one or two places to sort of make it clearer. Synthetic muscles later. Ah, okay. So I'm gonna make a guess that the texturing on it will probably also help to clarify that that is what it is too. But just for silhouette reasons, little more exaggeration, perhaps. Your nails are really nice for silhouette, though. Big spikes are good. Do ants have spikes on them? I just want to look at some ants. Let me just observe some ants real quick. Because there's a part of me that thinks of, like, ants and insects as having, like, sharp bits on them like that, but when I think of the sharp bits they have, I think of them as, like, arcing in a way that feels, like, really dangerous and disturbing, where, like, they're much wider at the base, and then they come to these, like, really, like, thin, needly points. Where, like, this feels like a more dangerous spike and a more, like, insect-like spike, perhaps? Where if you just pay close attention to, like, where the taper is in the spike and force it so that the width is mostly at the base instead of being evenly distributed, that will also feel more evil and more dangerous. It's, like, one of my favorite little, like, funny hacks that you can do. So, like, if this is shaped like this instead, it feels a little bit insecty. It feels a little bit more otherworldly. Oh! Welcome back, TV Head. I hope you've enjoyed your rotation. Keep the party going. Yeah, we always party in here. Yeah, rotation! Wahoo! Oh, I guess we have a hype train now? Question mark? That, or no, we don't. It's just telling me we have subs. Thanks. Thanks, Twitch. Making your mod more dangerous. How are we meant to fight them? I'm sure Amber's fighting on my side. So if I'm further arming Amber, that's only to my benefit. That only helps me. If you're not adverse to it, you could probably add more spikes too. Where, like, if you had like littler spikes or something throughout, that would just add a little bit of variety, which I think might be nice in your body. Because all the spikes feel very similar in length right now. Even though I know they're not all the same length, more variety might be a little bit nice. You don't have to add a ton of them, but you feel how that's so dangerous, that's so sharp and jagged. Ugh, it's gonna mess you up. You don't want to touch that. These feel a little bit rounded to me, which might just be that, like, the way they're drawn is using a line tool, because if I do that, that will also give me a rounded tip to it. But yeah, a little bit more variation in their size and their shape might be kind of nice, perhaps. But I do enjoy the balance here. You are very sharp and dangerous, but you do have some very round shapes in the design. We've got these, like, arcing plates on your chest and on your neck. You've got your circular zipper. Your hips are very round, as are your legs. Your little power thing on your shoulder. So you're trying to be sharp and intimidating. But are you still friendly inside there somewhere? You're still nice deep down in there. You're not totally cold and distant and evil. You have something going on in there, maybe, potentially, right? So rare to see purple skin. I love it. I know it does make you stand out a good bit too. It does make you pretty distinct. Maybe. Maybe. Semicolon 3. Perhaps. But yeah, you could probably stylize a lot of your spikes to be that way, and, like, you know, your shoulder spikes. What if they're not all exactly the same height? What if some of them are taller than others? What if some of them are shorter? Variety is the spice of life, and variety will make things feel natural also throughout. Similar, like, you could make these spikes look a little bit more dangerous. Right now, these are reading like Bowser and I'm not just saying that because I just saw somebody say Paper Mario, but like, you know how Bowser has his like really round, short spikes on his design? It's because he's like kind of a goofy villain. It's kind of silly. So the thickness of those being cartoony, I love cartoony, but they don't feel that dangerous to me. And they could be a little bit more dangerous feeling, perhaps. Yeah, Spike is dangerous universal language, yes, but I just think that these need to be like shorter. They're just tall in a way that feels cartoony, and maybe it's just a little bit at odds with the rest of you. The cartooniness of the rest of you. So like if I go like this and just like shrink them down a bit. Such a weird move for me. Are we hearing me right now? Are we sure EG has not been replaced by somebody else? I just told you to make a detail smaller. Someone needs to take my temperature. Frowny face. They just need to be shorter. Just shorter. Just shorter. Just shorter. Who are you? I know. I'm totally gone. EG's been replaced by an imposter. Hey, sometimes that's what the design calls for, though. I think that they were just a little bit more cartoony than what the aim is. It doesn't need to be a huge change. Oh, did I do that to your base design? Oh, I can't even toggle it on and off now. Wrong layer, EG. Impasta. Yes, that would be me. I am impasta. I am pastas. But yeah. Throughout, I think that is the bulk of what my critiques are for you, though. I think that the color palette is much more decided than it was before. Your face is very focal from the use of saturation. It's just like, as we've done for the other Shroomates, we've seen some of these designs a couple times. So now we're just doing like tweaks. We're just making some like final modifications before green lighting. So like color palette, I think you're most of the way there. I feel like the green is gonna need some highlights in a couple of places, but it does feel nice and poisonous. And it's very subtle outside of the eye, so that's fine to me. Yeah, I think it's fine. Whap. Silhouette. I guess this is technically a detail thing as opposed to a silhouette thing. This is kind of minor, so I feel like I'd feel bad taking off points for that. Also, the asymmetry of your cape is kind of nice, too. Oh, I do have a hype train. What's that about, Twitch? You're like 5 whole minutes late to the party, Twitch. What are you doing? Who do you think you are? Partay? We can partay a little bit for the hype train. We can welcome the train into the station. Hype train of 1. I know. Hype train was like, why didn't it do it earlier? We usually get a hype train at the beginning of stream when the first person resubscribes. It waited a very long time today and was very silly. We had people resubscribe in like closer proximity to each other earlier. Why did it wait? The train's always late to the station. Come on. But silhouette, I would say your antennas are nice and distinct. This is adding some nice asymmetry to you. You're sharp and round. You get a variety of shapes. Cape is good. I really don't see any particular issue with your silhouette. For complexity versus clarity, which is where we talk about level of detail, I think you could just sharpen a couple of things a bit more, and add more variety to them. I think we need to hone in this guy's shape a little bit better. There's just some particularities that could be modified, but you're most of the way there. Head's focal, concept motifs. You're purple and green and sharp. You're a supervillain. You have some like space age future technology references in like your little coiling of your arm. You're wearing plate armor, so I would place you maybe in sci-fi or just something that's fantasy, so I think I'm getting the right genre. The antennas are very specifically ant antennas. The plates on your skin make you very easily discernible as not being particularly human. I think we're pretty much getting everything about your design as much as we can. Almost halfway to 3 line skips number of spores. Corey, that is incredible. You have almost 150 spores? 150,000 rather? If you had 150 spores, that's not quite it, but that's a huge amount. But anyway, I think I'm picking up everything I need to. I'm very intrigued to see what this looks like fully rendered. Like once you have metallic and like maybe some glowing elements and maybe like just a couple other specific things. But I would green light you. I'd say you're pretty good to go. A couple little modifications. Go. Do it. Do it. Go become 3D, Amber. Become the 3D model you were always meant to be. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9.5. You're most of the way there. You're most of the way there. I'm very excited to see this become a real object. That's not how that works. Hang on. I always do that. There we go. Wahoo! Congrats! Good work! Round of applause for Amber. 5 minutes to do the 4th entry. While that maybe is not fair, I don't think I have all that many things to critique about the 4th entry. So I don't really want to speedrun it in 5 minutes. We can give it like 15 to 20 perhaps. But I don't know if there's a lot of things that I necessarily feel the need to change here for our fella Henry. For the OC design that this is. I got a couple quick edits. This is like that one time we like, not speedran, but like very quickly went over stuff with that robot fella. But this is Henry. This is Art Fun's character. Art Fun uses she, her, and they, them. Henry, I believe, uses he and him from just absorbing things here. But Henry Whitemore is a very nice, despite from coming from an abusive family. Tried to make it where his hair is gray because he naturally has black hair, and the demon species in the world of my making mostly has white hair, and he didn't want to stick out. The necklace is the thing. If it's the thing you keep looking at, I'm sorry. That's okay. Gold eyes, but I like his glasses. Make him hopefully show more. He's already very symmetrical. Help. Okay. So, immediately I can say, face is focal. The glasses are helping, but the red skin, I think, is also significantly making the face focal. Red is such a high chroma color that that's where my eyes are going to zero in on anyway. But nice, big, clear shapes for the glasses lenses also do really help. It's also the only place that the gold appears in the design. So the head is completely focal, and there's nothing we can really say otherwise about it. There's nothing really even competing. So I would say that does work. I'm making a guess because you didn't actually give me much explanation as far as the species of demon that this character is. This seems to be a demon who has, like, hip wings, I think? For a second, I thought these were, like, wings that would attach to an arm. Like, you know, if here is the arm with a hand. I thought these were wings that were, like, attaching like this and, like, hanging off the arm, you know what I mean? Which, if that's not what they're doing, and you aren't attached to them being hip wings, that could be an interesting angle. That could be kind of fun, perhaps. That'd be a very specific choice as far as the clothing goes. Good color choice as far as cohesiveness goes. I agree with that. That's true. But yeah, this could be an interesting moment for both the silhouette and the specificity of the clothing, if you're open to that, maybe. But it doesn't really solve the symmetry thing you were having. Not gonna lie, it gives me Hasman Hotel, hell of a boss imp character. I think that's gonna come from the black, red, white, and gold design of the character. The thing I would suggest for you, and for most characters that are horned, is to pick a specific horn shape. This is sort of like the, or one of the demon horn shapes. I think the reason we're reading imp, or like a low-level demon, is because you seem like you just have like the regular like mob design for your horns. If you are from somewhere important, or like if you are a character that's supposed to be an individual in some capacity, you may want to design the horns to be more specific. So like even if the horns like, I don't know, cut in and had a very specific angle here and then they cut back somewhere too, this is a much more specific horn than the base horn was, because we're adding just a little bit more detail to it. If we're a more powerful demon, the horns can be more specific or even regal. Yeah, I don't even know if they need to be all that much more specific, but like, or more regal or anything like that. I don't think we need to necessarily attach it to status all the time, but I do think that just having something that's a little bit more distinct might be nice. The other thing I think people hold themselves back with is quantity of horns in demon designs. People usually only go for 2. Why not 3? Why not 4? Why not 5 or 6 or more? You can do some really interesting things if you want to have multiple horns. So like you could have just like 2 little ones that come off the side of your head, or maybe one's hidden by your hair. But then because we see one, we assume there's one on the other side of the body. And then that makes you a little bit more specific too. I think we can play around a little bit more with those things. Similarly, this is like the demon tail also. Is there another motif in this design we could use? I see you have a water droplet shape somewhere else. You could just use your water droplet shape as your tail and repeat that. I do think this water droplet necklace could use to be a little bit more specific, but even if we don't make it more specific, I think it just needs to be repeated throughout the design, because there's not really a repeating motif right now. We could use one, perhaps, throughout. Hello. Hi. Welcome in. Mega Otaku HS, is that you describing yourself for a second? I thought you were describing me, because I'm also they, them, but I don't know if I'm not a roller coaster person, so I'm guessing you're describing yourself, but welcome. Mini intro first time chat. Hell yeah. Imp goes, I think, from red skin to yellow eyes to white hair, but it was classic before them too. Ah, okay, I see, I see. I think with the black coming into the hair, you could make the chunks a little bit bigger, and if you made them a little bit more uneven, because here's a secret from somebody who regularly dyes their hair and then does no upkeep on it. Your hair doesn't all grow out at the same length sometimes. My hair grows much faster around my ears for some reason, like the side of my head, than it does in the front or in the back. So like you can have little bits that are like a little bit longer or a little bit shorter, and that might feel a little bit more natural too for it. I think you could also get a little bit of mileage out of just like any little tick out of the top of your head. I know you're probably going for like really clean, simple shapes, but like just that little thing can do so much. And similarly, remove the tangent that's at the edge of your head, potentially. Your hair is just a little bit too tight here and it feels kind of restricting. You don't need it. You can just remove this line if you're trying to make things very simple and clean in its read. Don't need it. It's done inconsistently. There could be banding in the color. That's true. There could also be banding in the color. That's also true. True. But yeah. So those might be a couple little things to help. I think there is too much happening right here directly between the eyes, and I'm not sure what is what right now. So for clarity's sake, you might want to just make this split in the hair a little bit larger. And then if that thing I removed that was an X was the glasses frame, just move them down a little bit so they're not sitting on quite the exact same line. But having an X for a glasses frame is very specific. So that's gonna help a little bit, but we're just kind of doing like fine-tuning things right now, sort of throughout the design. Let me copy and paste my horn onto the other side here. Transform, flip horizontal. Oh wow, my edit is kind of funny to look at there. But yeah. The cracks are nice though. They add a little bit of asymmetry, which is good. The hair is also adding some asymmetry. I don't think a design has to be incredibly asymmetrical though. Like, you're asymmetrical in your clothing, but your hair is very asymmetrical right now. If you want to be less symmetrical, there could be a couple things you could do, perhaps, throughout. If you add accessories that add asymmetry, that could help, because the clothing is being worn symmetrically right now. I do also think that you could maybe exaggerate some of the clothing shapes a little bit. They're all very close to the body, other than the collar. So, like, you're wearing arm warmers. What if your arm warmers are, like, real baggy, which is why they're sitting so low on your hands, and then we're getting a more exaggerated shape here. Or alternatively, your pants could have a little bit more weight where they're sitting on top of your boots, or we could like cinch things in a little bit more in that area. Maybe echo the X motif and the edge embroidery on the shirt edges. Sure, we could echo that somewhere. I was wondering if maybe it would work better to do an X out of like these little belts that are on the boots maybe too, where like we could do like weep, wap, weep, wap. Hello, hi Dr. Shooty. Happy late birthday, thank you, I appreciate it. What's your favorite anime? I don't got time to get into that right now. Also, I'm kind of mad at what would usually be my answer still, so I don't even have an answer for that right now. Cries. I'm having so much FOMO though about it. Trigun Stargaze, I hate you. I'm having such a bad time about it. But yeah, X's repeating would be good for motif reasons. Perhaps. I think this collar was just created with a symmetry modifier, and that's why it's dipping down at the center. But if you want to dip it down in the center, make it more extreme, perhaps. You could even with your sleeves, because this is, I think, a jacket you're wearing over your neck. You could exaggerate the length of these sleeves and how asymmetrically they're sitting even further if you wanted to. Where, like, it just becomes clearer that, like, they're sitting quite off kilter on your body. Whoa. If you're looking for more asymmetry, honestly, I don't know if you need an incredibly that much more. Unless this character's super chaotic, we have some simple natural asymmetry that I think would probably be fine. I think this is maybe all the more you need. So we don't complicate things. If you want to add other things, there could be ways you could make your shirt more interesting, where if like the shirt sits at like an angle or something, that could be a way to make the design less symmetrical. Or, you know, maybe you have like a cutout in the shirt where it's been damaged or something that mirrors your X shape. some small things you could do. But honestly, I feel like the critique that I would have for this is about the details, maybe? The shirt is a little bit strange right now. The collar shape and the sleeves. I feel like I haven't seen this particular, like, combination before in a design, which is specific, but it just feels a little bit odd. I'm not sure if this is the way that I would imagine a shirt to be created. The pants are reading like sweatpants right now, so if they're not, you may want to add details that make it clear that they're like a jean material, or just color shift them into something maybe a little bit darker, perhaps? But honestly, I feel like you're like most of the way there for this design. It just needs a little bit more fine-tuning. I do think that making these wings into drop sleeves may be the greater idea, though, as opposed to having them be hip wings, because that will already feel like it's a much more distinct design choice, potentially. Sasuke has the high collar short sleeve. Oh, wait, you're right! Oh, wait, you are so right. I forgot about Sasuke. How could I? Oh, interesting. Okay, how does he have it? Does he have any design on the collar? Oh, he's got a zipper. He has a zipper on the collar. Oh, wait, what if this was a quarter zip? You could have like a quarter zip, and maybe that would make it feel more specific, where you don't have to zip it all the way up, but like even if you just have something that's stylized to being like a zipper in that area, that could be interesting. Hi, Vulcan. But yeah, I honestly think this is most of the way there. For a character that is meant to be very clean in its design, it's not bad. The feet feel a little bit funny, where I can't decide whether they're small enough or big enough. You may just want to push them more in one direction or the other, because, you know, when we're creating designs that are this simplified, you really want to exaggerate your details. So like you could really make the legs quite small. Oh, I don't like that it's like crushing it. I just want to move these points in and not move stuff down with it. Wait, hang on, I can do that. Oh, transform mesh. Yeah, okay, I need less points. Give me 1 second. Yeah. No, hang on. Yeah, there we go. There we go. That's what I wanted. And then you could just, like, crush the legs in so that the shoes are just even smaller little points of feet. Once again, I'm making something smaller. This is weird. But it's just because I'm exaggerating. It seems like we're doing a narrowing. The head is the widest. The feet could therefore be the smallest part of the design. But I think that this would serve you better. We need more exaggeration. Transform, flip horizontal. There we go. And then we cover up the stuff underneath it. Feels like I've given you, like, heels almost. And at the same point, like, I'm almost, like, wanting to carve these into something even thinner and then make these even wider. But I'm just looking to see if we could exaggerate the silhouette just a bit more. Just a bit more with the exaggeration. Yeah. Who is this? EG making small shoes? Yeah, I've made 2 decisions that I don't think you guys would ever foresee me making. This does not help me in my bingo at all. EG makes an accessory smaller is not on the bingo. I did make someone's shoes bigger though, which is good at least. Do have gold eyes, did have asymmetry, did have hoodies, did have pastel colors, did have a corset on Amber. We did have animal ears. I did have a free space. I don't know if any of you count as wearing tech wear. I did suggest fashion research. We did have giant sleeves. Oh, I'm so close to like bingo in like 3 directions. What's up, fellow crustacean? I'm not a crustacean. What? Hello, asexual lobster. I'm also asexual. I think that's the thing we have in common. I'm not a crustacean, but I am also asexual. Can you lose points in bingo? Yeah, I have to uncheck EG makes their shoes bigger because I made shoes smaller. Wow, what has happened to me? But yeah, I think that is honestly the bulk of the critiques I have for this design. I feel like the neck might be a little bit weirdly wide for this proportioning too. It's also a little bit long. But it might just be that this is a proportion style that I'm just not as familiar with. But that's more drawing than it is character design. Yeah. I think that's actually the bulk of what I have. As I said, this will probably be a pretty quick one. Yeah, negative bingo? I'm going to get the opposite of bingo, unfortunately. I have a fully colored ref sheet. I'll submit mine for a proper critique. Would really love your feedback in the future. Yeah! Go for it. We will avidly await seeing what it is that you have cooked. Yeah, I think that's most of what I had here. But yeah, like, wearing a sweatshirt draped over your shoulders is very specific. The short sleeves and high collar seems very specific. I think you're most of the way there on this character. We just need a couple more nudges. So, focal point, head, color palette. Honestly, the gold makes the color palette visually interesting enough. I feel like the shoes could maybe use a little bit more saturation to them, but like, you're most of the way there for color. Whoa, that's not green. I don't know if you didn't notice that wasn't green. Silhouette. Exaggerate a little bit more, but honestly, your hair has a somewhat recognizable silhouette. Your horns could use to be more specific. And then if your wings were actually attached to your sleeves, that'd be more specific, but I feel like you're part of the way there. Some of the details could use more specificity, as I was saying. And then concept and motifs. You're a little demon fella. You didn't give me any more detail about the design than that, but that's also all I'm getting from the design. So the thing that I might or may challenge you to do is add another layer to the concept. I can see that you're injured. Your horns have cracks, your skin has some cuts on it. But is there another layer you can add? What role does your character play in the story they exist in? What does this OC do for a living? Do they have an occupation? Is there a particular fashion sense they're drawing from? Add another layer. I think it might benefit you. You might find some creative ways of implementing it, but like, for what it's worth, I read you as a demon who is wearing some sort of casual clothing. Maybe why their hair is black. Yeah, why are they different in that way from the other demons in the world who have white hair? Why do they have black hair? Is there something in their history? I feel like they just need a little bit more depth of concept, perhaps, because they are kind of just a demon right now. Which, like, maybe that's fine. You sometimes don't have to be more than that. But things can be a little bit more creative and clever when we do have more depth than that. But yeah, what do we have here? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 out of 10? Today is a very 7 out of 10 day, which I would agree with strongly. Today's not a 10 out of 10 day, but it's not a 0 out of 10 day. It's an above average day. My house is no longer leaking, which is good. Actually, if I'm being real, my day should probably be like a 5 out of 10 day. But this is a 7 out of 10 design. So good work, Art Fun. Thank you for submitting your design to us. Thank you. I hope the critique is helpful for you. I don't know if you're here anymore. I saw you in chat earlier, but I did want to make sure we got through the stuff I had said I would today for the design skip. I might actually feel a little bit bad if you aren't here anymore. Oh no. Hopefully you're here and hopefully you can see it. Hopefully maybe you're just taking notes. But yeah, thank you for submitting and congrats on saving up. Good work. Yes, do round of applause. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you too. But yeah, I think that'll do it for me. I did not, in fact, get through all the critiques in time, but I only went over by 15 minutes. It is not that bad. I did get through 4. For my unusually high quantity of announcements and the fact that we started late, I think this was expected. Let's see, what's the payout? How many of you voted against me? How many of you didn't trust me? Because you were right. Wow, it really almost always pays to bet against me. It almost always pays to bet against me. I'm so sorry, Amber. How many did you put in, Amber? 14 minutes isn't that much past, but it's past. The thing says 6 p.m. It was really specific. Enjoy your almost 9,000 to the 11 of you who won. YouTube also thought I would complete it. YouTube had a lot of faith in me. YouTube usually has no faith in me. Does EG have a Discord? Yes, I do, as I wrap things up here. You are so interested. I do, in fact, have a Discord, if you would like it. Oh, Santa's beat me to it. You guys are so on top of it. I appreciate it. It's very kind of you to help out Shroomates. But yeah, I do have a Discord. Things for the rest of this week. Thursday, miraculous character design critiques. I think Thursday we're going to critique the main cast's like base outfits, like their civilian outfits, and then the following week we will critique their miraculous, i.e. hero, i.e. transformed outfits. But that's the goal for Thursday. We're gonna look at a lot of characters, but I can be kind of quick about them because I've spent a lot of time with these designs, so I can be a little bit more efficient with them. I'm not coming to them for the first time in a cold read. So yeah, Thursday, miraculous. Friday, beep of the lamb. Or maybe something Chubby related, and or? Question mark? TBD, we'll see. We'll find out. I asked earlier before raid, does that count as rotation? Kind of, but that's like not a very Shroomatey vibe. Booty shake is not really a Shroomatey vibe. I'm sure the Shroomates can shake booty, but I feel like we're too family friendly for the way that that appears to others, you know what I mean? I don't know. All designs are new ones. I'm gonna compare the old designs of Miraculous characters to their new designs, because some of them are better, some of them are worse, and some of them have really not changed in a very clear manner. So, we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. I have a lot to cover, but I feel like I can actually be relatively brief in my discussion, because Miraculous is way closer to where my expertise in character design lies. I get yelled at from my grandfather by misusing lie and lay, but yeah. Is it true that Miraculous was originally supposed to be 2D? Yes, and the reason they didn't make it 2D makes a lot of sense. If you want to hear the answer, come back on Thursday. But yeah. Other things. Minecraft in the Shroom State server tomorrow. 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. EST. Same with Thursday. Wednesday is recording VR chat, walkthrough of our gallery. If you are so interested, look to the Discord for details. Also, design an Uma Musume OC if you would like to for extra credit this month. And I think that does it for me. Yeah, stop throwing a ball for your dog if you are feeling fatigue in your limbs. Potentially. Is that written down somewhere? Is what written down somewhere? The Minecrafting, the Uma-ing, the all of it is written down in the announcement in the Discord server, theoretically. I think all the things I just said are written down. The hours, yes. The hours are in the Discord server in the announcements tab, and the hours should also be translated to your time zone. So you should be able to check it there. But yeah, thank you all for joining me here today. YouTube, I will say shroom you later. Thank you, YouTube Shroomates, for hanging out with me. Bye. Why do I sound like I'm gargling? I've unlocked